Engines roaring life in the fast lane. PHG weaving name, tearing up the game. Thunder on the track, speed never go lack. Pushing limits, breaking barriers, ain't looking back. Whoa. Tires screaming as we take that turn. Fuel and fire in our hearts we burn. Opponents in the mirror, they can't keep up. Keep the throttle down, never wanna let up. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we rule the steeple. Great racers, better people. Team strong, bonds like no other. Brothers, sisters, ain't no undercover. Victory sweet, but honor even sweeter. Every race together makes the fight deeper. Crowds chant as the lights go green. Adrenaline rush, it's a traveler's dream. Might stumble, fall, but we rise again. For the banner of PHG flies our friend. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we rule the steeple. Great racers, better people. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we rule the steeple. Great racers, better people. Good racers, better people. Good racers, better people. Great racers, better people. Crowds chant as the lights go green. Adrenaline rush, it's a traveler's dream. Might stumble, fall, but we rise again. For the banner of PHG flies our friend. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we rule the steeple. Great racers, better people. Better people. Oh, baby. Better people. Engines roaring life in the fast lane. PHG weaving name, tearing up the game. Thunder on the track, speed never go lack. Pushing limits, breaking barriers, ain't looking back. Whoa. Tires screaming as we take that turn. Fuel and fire in our hearts we burn. Opponents in the mirror, they can't keep up. Keep the throttle down, never wanna let up. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our next round of the PHG World Series. We We are doing qualifying today. This is day 2 of qualifying at Monza. I am joined in the booth by my good friends Shaggy and T-Case. Shaggy, how you doing today?
Not too bad. I hurried up real quick to jump into this. I got me some fried chicken. Got a full stomach now. Yeah, ready to call these and see what these people can put down tonight.
Awesome. Sounds like you're all ready. T-Case, how you feeling?
Oh, I am feeling great, sir. Happy to be here. Excited to get back into it after a little much-needed time off in this summer break that we had.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so lay of the land, it looks like we've had 21 qualifiers from yesterday. Topping the speed chart right now, we got Bo Bagito, followed closely by Racer 51 and Mr. KP Wilcox as our top 3 qualifiers. Hoping to see a big turnout today. We've had 2 weeks off from the All-Star break. So really, we've been 3 weeks out from a competitive week. So I'm sure all the drivers are itching to get back into it and show everybody what they can do. One other thing, we have now been sponsored. We've got our first official sponsor for the league. They're going to be sponsoring the second half of the league. It's Lithograph Comics. Got their icon there on the screen for anybody who wants to check them out over on Instagram. Just real quick, Lithograph Comics is not a store, but rather a comic book enthusiast bringing awareness to the hobby and the comic book collecting community. Located on Instagram, you'll find Greg, aka Litho, sharing comic book history, stories, and his personal collection spanning a 35-plus year comic book journey. That's Lithograph Comics on Instagram.
Very cool. Getting sponsored. We're getting big time over here.
Exactly.
Well, thanks, Lithograph Comics. We appreciate you.
Yeah, so it looks like we've got T. Calvert in the lobby here, just putting down there's just some practice laps right now, right, Shaggy? We haven't kicked this off quite yet?
Yeah, he hasn't given the green light to start qualifying yet.
Gotcha.
Driving that BMW, Group 4 BMW. That's an interesting one.
That's going to be a rough one for this track, isn't it?
I think so. The top end, I don't think is that great. What other BMW drivers have? No other BMW drivers have qualified. So we have.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Banana didn't make it.
We have no clue how this is going to perform.
And apparently, Monza has scared Jorge away.
Wow.
As he said, he's not coming.
He said he's not very sure of it. He hasn't had the best luck in the Group 4 BMW this season compared to, how he's performed in the Group 3. I guess it's the short shifting and the car is probably overall not the best, but, he's pretty much having to push it around the track when he does race it. And, he's still had good performance. It's just not up to his, his, I guess, particular liking.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you
don't
might
know
as
what
well
it's like
enjoy it. I mean, with that being said,
Yeah.
he's still, been top 5 in every race, even with... So what, if he can't win, he doesn't want to race? Is that what we're doing here?
I was gonna say, I don't know what it's like to have that option.
Right.
But it must be nice.
I can't be that picky,
like,
or I wouldn't be racing very often.
Exactly. I do one race every 4 months.
The goal is, it's round 6, so you take your worst performance, and now you have to beat that. So if his worst performance is 5th, he would have to go make top split and then get a 4th, and then extra points or whatever. So that's probably going to be difficult here in that BMW, and slipstream is key. So he would need some help, and I don't think it has the top end to stick it with the Genesis.
Yeah, I suppose that's the other thing to remind people about those that haven't tuned in for this league. First off, we do have pinned into the chat a link to the Papa's House of Game website And all the league information about what we're doing here, both in all the past weeks we've done, and then this round 6, along with all the other ones coming up. So real quick, the Cliff's notes to this is that we do treat this as a manufacturer series. So you pick your manufacturer, and you stick with that car for the whole season. The races are all, we alternate between Group 3 and Group 4 cars, so you just have to, again, stick with the same manufacturer for each group. So that's why we were talking about with the BMW, maybe strong in Group 3, not so strong in Group 4, but that's what you got to work with. The other thing to note is the scoring. We end up using the scores from the top 5 weeks for each driver in order to determine where they lie at the end of the season. So that's why we were talking about, we are now 5 races in. So those that have completed 5 races now, they can kind of pick and choose the ones that they think they may get a better result or a better score in, and forego the others. So again, just a little insight into how this league works. And it looks like we're getting qualifying underway for Mr. T. Calvert, our first of the evening.
Let's go.
Jorge in chat saying he just wanted a break. He's not scared of losing. We just like to give you crap for him.
That's fair. That's fair enough. Fair enough.
That is fair, but we still want to bust you a little bit.
I've only done one race and I was ready for a break.
I actually predict him winning round 7 at Mount Panorama.
Yeah.
He was just recently in a league that's run by NRL creator McNaughty. It's the S7R run league, and they just had a race at Mount Panorama. He won, I believe, both of the races, the sprint race and the Group 3, I guess, main feature. And I can't remember what he was driving. Was it the RCF or I forget what it was. You'll let me know, Jorge. But I'm pretty sure he's the odds-on favorite to win that one as well. So we'll see him, I'm sure, next week.
He says, correct on both. Don't forget it.
Don't forget it. And Tati is doing the commentating for that, correct?
Yes, and I think she was running it solo. So
yeah, they did. They did
her.
amazing. I was in visiting family, and I caught a good chunk of that broadcast. McNaughty running the production side, and Tati, they were doing the commentating. It was phenomenal. So y'all be sure to check that out. I enjoyed watching it. It was a lot of fun. A cool idea, cool concept, different from what we're doing here with the kind of sprint race and feature race thing that they're doing. But very, very cool.
Yeah, Tati does good work. I remember listening to her commentate during NRL, and she's impressive. So I'll have to try to tune into that one of these weeks.
Indeed, and I think I saw it in chat. It's somebody's birthday.
Whose birthday is it?
We got a birthday in chat.
Oh, Slick!
Is that
Slick's
Slick?
birthday? Happy birthday, Slick!
Happy birthday! For your birthday, you're going to get to watch T. Calvert do a flying lap. Congratulations!
he needs to bring the birthday home and get him a win this weekend. You know, qualify good. And whatever split he ends up in, win it for Ferrari.
Indeed. I do love the Group 4 Ferrari. I don't know how good it's going to be around here as far as top end and straight line, but as far as a fun car to drive, it definitely is
fun.
that.
Yeah, it's fun. Like, it's not the quickest, and it definitely needs to tow. Wade was using it last night and had a little difficulty. He managed a decent lap, but it's going to be tough to stay in the top split for a number of the drivers because it's so competitive. Even with the drivers that are running solo, they're still out there putting down, I believe it was the 159s.
T. Calvert's looking super smooth here. I haven't seen them put a foot wrong yet. Taking the first two chicanes and Lesmo 1 and 2 with no problem, but we'll find out how much the straight line hurts them once they get to the start-finish line. Curious to see as our first BMW goes a little wide there, missing the first apex, but getting the final apex.
Yeah, Shaggy,
Coming
you
on
mentioned the
through.
top speed, and I mean, luckily with this being a bit of a drafting track, that should help. You know, they can get that little boost to help make up for the lack of top speed, and then still be able to keep up with them, or maybe make up some time in the corners wherever they do fall behind. So this may,
It's gonna be,
you know, as much as it doesn't
it's
work
gonna be
out
difficult.
solo, it may work out in a group.
Right.
Once you make the race, that's where it'll really be a trying time. Because if you lose a draft with somebody in front of you, say you're behind a Genesis driver, you're able to keep up with them a little bit, you make a little bit of a mistake, and they get away, and say you're driving something like the BMW, which might not have the best top end, or the Ferrari, or whatever, it's going to be a struggle. I mean, you're going to be good on tires, but it's going to be a struggle to stay up with it unless you have a friendly push. You know, a couple of drivers, you know, from behind able to help you keep you the momentum and keep you up front. Otherwise, it's easy to fall back.
Indeed, we're seeing that the lack of straight line speed in that first lap. They are improving, but a 2:05.494 is over 2 seconds off the pace of Big Joe, who is currently sitting P21. So they are improving, but they're going to have to find something. And it is interesting with the slipstream, like you guys were talking about. It's all good if you have a buddy to bump you, but we know how crazy turn 1 is, the first chicane, and then if everyone survives the first chicane, then you know the second chicane is going to be even more chaos, and that's when you can fall off the pack and struggle to catch back up.
Right? There's only so many mistakes you can make in one lap before you're 5 seconds behind in a blink of an eye.
And there's a lot of gravel around here as well that really slows you down, especially at the two right-handers, Lesmo 1 and 2. If you run wide, you can, I mean, that can ruin it.
Yeah, getting that good
And the
corner
race-
exit, especially for these
Yeah.
longer bits, is ultra important. And for a car like this, the BMW, and like you were mentioning, the Ferrari,
There we go.
well, that's a much better time. Like I was saying, with those two kind of cars, I mean, especially, you know, being nice and smooth, and maybe even cutting the corner a bit through these tight turns, like the chicane here, and the next chicane coming up, is ultra important, because like Shaggy said, you fall back, and all of a sudden you're kind of stuck. It's kind of like losing the draft at Daytona. Not quite as bad, but not great. Not a good feeling.
Yeah. Not a good feeling at all. Even with that big improvement, that still is keeping them at the bottom there, the 203.875. But it's, and not an improvement there. We got 10 minutes of qualifying. We're 7 minutes and 20 seconds in almost. So we should get one more lap out of this. We'll see how they're able to improve, if at all.
Yeah, it looks like he's been pretty good on the tire wear, so just running this one out is probably the way to go. I would imagine Monza, Shaggy, really doesn't have a lot of tire wear to begin with, because it's a lot of just straight line driving. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's not a lot to actually scrub the tires with. The few turns, like general areas, really. A couple of chicanes, and then there's that hard one. I guess it's a little bit of a hairpin kind of thing going on, but it depends on how you take the apex. If you slide the car, it's still not going to do much over, you know, the course of the race. You can go with the race itself because it's mediums and hards.
I think that's what you had for requirements in this one, medium and hard, right?
Push the softer tire as far, because it is a little bit of that, but it's not so much a tire wear race. And I did put it down to 2 because everybody was struggling with some of the cars being really bad on the front tires, like the FF cars, the Mazda, and
The
a few
Audi
others.
TT.
Yeah. The Mazda especially, though. It is super quick in a straight line, but it burns the fronts off.
I do want to point out we have the proprietor in chat. Papa, good to see you. Happy to have you here. Of course, this has all been created under the umbrella of PHG, Papa's House of Game. And the website is pinned in the chat, so please be sure to check that out. And I also just refreshed my page and saw that Salamander is currently sitting at 498 subscribers. That's 2 away from 500. So if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed already, please do so. And give Salamander that well-deserved 500 subs.
Please, please, I beg of you. Been fighting hard to hit that 500. You know, running these broadcasts, you know, certainly has always been a big help in that. So shout out to both Papa and Shaggy for letting, you know, people like me and T-Case actually run these broadcasts. It's been great for our channel, sharing the love and all that.
Mm-hmm.
We love. I mean, I suppose I'll speak.
We
for,
do it
speak
regardless.
for you as well. Is that this is a lot of fun. I mean, I didn't know how much I was going to like doing the broadcast production and the commentary stuff until given the shot, and now it's been a blast. So I hope to keep doing stuff like this. But in addition, I do run my own races. In fact, I just ran the IRO Gran Turismo Endurance Championship race last weekend, which I'll talk about that in just a second, because we're just finishing this up for T. Calvert and see how he finishes the 204.253, so it does not improve on that last lap. Certainly improved throughout the session here, but not enough to get very high on the rankings. So this may be a sort of a bit of a comeback opportunity in race. You know, as we were talking about, getting in race, this thing could be very, very different. So we'll see how that all pans out on race day. No, but like I was saying, the IRL Gran Turismo Endurance Championship, we were running the 24-hour race at Le Mans last weekend. Me and my teammates, part of formerly known as Full Throttle Racing, now called Full Speed Racing, we won that race, which was a bit of a shocker. We had a very slow start to the season, but pulling out a win in a 24-hour race at an iconic track like Le Mans felt real good. So shout out to the rest of my team members. Fantastic. Some of them PHG members like Jorge, and then we've got some MMR guys, Moose and Tuzzenbox, and then we got Logan, and we got PHG Oak, and then we have Laminator. We had a number of guys in that all did very well. Lots of consistency. PHG Banana, otherwise known as Wicco, all were part of that team. So
that's fantastic.
That was a fun one.
It's so fun to see all the different ways people make this game that we all complain about relevant again in various ways. When the designers fail us, we find a way.
Well, I'm always going to complain about it. That'll never stop.
That'll never stop. Though, two daily race A's in a row that are straight up bangers, and you get TR.
It's actually really good. I did race the other day. It's really good.
I couldn't get enough of last week. I haven't done this week yet, but I plan on doing that tomorrow. But like Salamander was saying, like I started doing the broadcasts and production and commentating side, and it's like I do a lot less racing now because this is so much fun too, and you still get to be involved in it and be a part of it. So I am grateful to be a part of the PHG crew, also doing some stuff for NRL, and you know, it's been a lot of fun. It looks like, who do we have here? Chase.
AGRT Chase on deck, ready to make their qualifying run. Plenty of room for others. Drivers, come on in.
There's lots of drivers left to qualify. We know that much.
Corn Identity in the in the chat here. After subscribing to Salamander's YouTube channel, I instantly lost 3 inches off my waistline.
Well, hold up. That wasn't the deal when I subscribed.
That's fake news. But I appreciate the sentiment. Someone's going to fact check that, I'm sure.
Fact check it.
Oh, you know what? You know what happened is he lost it and I gained it. That's the problem.
There we go.
I sacrificed for you, buddy.
We're all that's what we're here for. We're willing to gain the weight so you don't have to. Please like and subscribe.
Just wait for Chase to hit the track. We need T. Calvert to get off the track. And then we can get this one underway.
Yeah, I'm thinking he might be VR.
Oh, yeah. T. Calvert, if you're listening, please exit the lobby.
Well, he doesn't necessarily have to exit the lobby, just back out of the track. He can still,
back out of the race.
It's just about if I kick him out of the lobby, he won't be able to enter again if he wanted to spectate or whatever. Which I don't mind, as long as it's not taking up too much room. There can be spectators.
Yep. The joys of running lobbies.
I still wish one of these days they'd allow more spectators.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish
Like
they'd
a
allow more
spectator
drivers too, but, short of drivers, if they were to at least allow that you could have a number of spectators that didn't count against the driver count, so we could actually have 16 drivers, that would be huge.
Yeah.
Basically go back to the 20 driver cap, make it to 16 that can, race, but then have 4 open spots for, spectator view.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to start it, certainly.
And you think with them, having done the World Series as many times as they've done, they should understand that people want to do this. Like, it'd be one thing if, it's their first online game, I guess going back to Gran Turismo 5 and not understanding that people are going to do leagues, not understanding people are going to want to watch. That I understand, but now we're 3 online games in, and they've been doing the World Series for at least 2 of those games. They should realize that they want that, and we know it's possible because they do it for the World Series. But they are on their, and it could be limitations of the PlayStation. To be honest, it could be that being a console, they it'll slow down the game too much. They can't control it as much as when you have PC games where it allows more people in. There might be a limitation to the console.
I'd agree with the limitation part of it if they hadn't already had 24 or 20 player lobbies. I remember we had a Porsche Cup, and it was 20 people in the lobby.
Really? See, I was not aware of that.
That was on GT7. Yeah, they've had 20 people. They just shut it down and went back to the 16, and I will never know why. It was just like a one-off thing.
Interesting. Maybe it was a test, and it worked for some and didn't for others, but I'm sure we would have heard of it if it didn't work. Somebody would have made a video. But it's like when they do it in their controlled environment, who knows what they're doing? They could have souped up PlayStations and all that stuff, and they're on a closed network. But if they did it with that Porsche Cup, then that throws my argument out the window.
Unfortunately, the Porsche Cup went the way of Old Yeller and hasn't been seen, at least the most recent year anyways. I'm pretty sure they disbanded on it. Went to, I want to say it went to maybe iRacing or ACC or whatever.
Well, for a while there we had the Toyota Cup, and then that went away just recently as well.
Toyota was great because we got those Prius races. The Prius C race at Catalunya, one of my favorite races of all time, and the regular Prius race at Laguna Seca. Okay.
But thankfully, McNaughty decided to say, F it, we'll do it ourselves, we'll do it live. And just, made their own, with that S7R, made their own Toyota Cup.
Yep, they sure did.
I'm like, if they didn't do it, I was going to do it. So either way, I'm happy it's being done.
You know, I was gonna say, T-Case, while you were on your rant, I was gonna say, you know, I'm gonna end up having my channel flagged for all this fake news going on.
There's too much. Everybody calm down.
I'm assuming everybody got the sarcasm.
Let's hope so. You know, you gotta clarify. You gotta clarify.
You know, I'm just gonna call it out for those that are a little challenged, who may not pick up on that. My father was a sarcasm savant, so I learned early on.
My family also. When you sit at the table with my siblings and parents, it is sarcasm central.
Yep.
I use it like a superpower.
Yep.
Exactly. And when I moved away from home, you know, if you've ever moved away from where you grew up, you know, you make new friends and all that stuff. And I quickly forgot that people don't know me, and I say stuff and they think I'm serious, and I'm like, no, nothing I say is real. Don't worry about it.
Nothing I say is real.
Think about the Matrix? Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. The AMG Group 4, is it as underpowered as the M4? Because I know that's also one that not a lot of people choose.
If I recall,
think it's up there with like the RCF as not being very popular.
Well, if I remember right, back in the Season 2 exhibition, McNaughty was running the Mercedes, and I want to say it had the power, but it turns like a pig. If I remember.
Like a pig.
It also didn't help I had the tire wear a little higher for those, but due to the fact that they have not balanced the tire wear between the MRs, the FFs, the FRs, and Group 4, I had to lower it to make it where there's tire wear now, but it wasn't to the extent that it was before, where it was times 5, times 6. So where you run one lap and your tires are gone already.
And that's no fun.
No, I want it to be fun for everybody, and no matter what car they're in. Though if your car just doesn't have the speed, I can't really do anything about that, other than, you know, putting like tuning on or something. And even then, like, you just make the other cars even faster, and you're still being a slow car.
Yeah. Based on that last sector time, well, now we can throw that out the window as he runs a little wide. He was on pace to beat Chase on this lap, but he just ran wide there. So this lap is going to be probably slower. He might be a little faster than his current fastest lap, but will not be enough to catch T. Calvert, currently sitting P22.
But thankfully, there's 2 more tries at it after this lap.
Though with that mistake, he's still 5/10 up, so it clearly didn't slow him down that much. I'm surprised at that. I would have guessed that slowed him down quite a bit, but I guess that's a very short straight, and he got the second right-hander exit correct onto the long straight. So he made the mistake at the right point if you're going to make one.
It should tell you that he's going to vastly improve when he, you know, puts everything down and gets everything right. It should be a really good lap.
As he keeps it tucked tight. Track limits don't exist at this part of the track. And he gets a 203. Just behind, 1/10 behind T. Calvert. .986.
Real quick, I know Sneaky's commenting in the chat that the stream seems to be skipping. I'm wondering if others are also seeing that. Everything I'm seeing on my end looks to be okay, but I'm just curious if those in the chat can comment if they're seeing things skip or if it's maybe a single person issue.
Mine did that earlier, and I refreshed and haven't had an issue. So if you're having an issue, try refreshing and see if that fixes it. YouTube often, I know Brigsby was in my stream yesterday and was like, the video stopped, but I can still hear you. But he was the only one, and he refreshed his browser. So So try that and see if that helps. And Jason says it's good there. So when in doubt, refresh.
Awesome sauce.
Coming along this long straight. This third chicane is so satisfying when you get it right. And so frustrating when you get it wrong. And it looks like he did well. He was up on his time. He's looking to leapfrog T. Calvert, potentially leapfrog Big Joe. We'll see if he can get Parabolica right. It is fun in these Group 4 cars because you can get on the throttle so much quicker and more aggressively than in the Group 3.
Yeah, it was always that way, but since the recent BOP update where they nerfed the Group 4s, it's even more so. It's almost hard to spin them out. And man, he went up over 8/10 on that lap.
And
So
that puts him,
out of the bottom of the list.
yeah, 203.120. That puts him just ahead of Big Joe, our fellow commentator and broadcaster. P21.
Yeah, see if he
He's
can
still
put a
got
little
time.
bit more of an improvement on this. And
He does have a lighter fuel tank, a little bit of tire wear, but not much.
yeah, as we were mentioning, so far in each of the cars we've been watching, there hasn't been a lot of tire wear at all, and he is up over 3/10 in that first sector. So looking to continue to improve.
Looking good, looking good.
Ooh,
Runs a little wide again.
Oh, it's that same spot. It appears to be Chase's Achilles heel here.
It is hard. It's kind of a late apex into that one, and it's not grass on the outside. It's that AstroTurf that just really pulls you off into the gravel, which makes it that much harder.
Yeah, it's
Playing a late apex.
trying to hold on to it or trying to be patient for that late apex because it does tend to push you wide. Yeah, he lost over a second in that second sector there.
That is unfortunate. He's not going to be able to get that back, no matter how good he does this final sector.
And
I don't think.
Dejan in the chat asking if you can join. Go to the link that is pinned in the chat. That'll take you to the league information page. There is a registration at the bottom. Fill out that registration. Once you've done that, then all you need to do is friend Shaggy in order to find the lobby, and you can qualify for this race. And that goes for anybody. But Dejan was the one asking. Shaggy just posted his PSN in there.
And if you can't do the whole season and you just want to do one race, you can do that as well. That's what I did. I wanted to do the race 2 weeks ago, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was the same way. I ran the first race of the season at Nürburgring, right? Yeah. Ran the Nürburgring race, did well there. I haven't had a chance to run one since. I do want to get at least one more in before the finals get here, but we'll see how the schedule works out.
Indeed. And so that is it for Chase.
It's 2:03.120. Puts him in P21 on our speed chart out of 23 drivers. And Corn Identity asking if Racer 51 is on pole. No, Bobagito is currently on pole with a 158.848, followed closely by PHG Racer 51 with a 158.933, followed very closely by KB Wilcox, Goat Instinct Racing, with a 158.975. Those are the only three drivers that have broken under the 159 mark.
Wow. So we got a few drivers in here now. Looking like we're going to have a fun next set of qualifying. It is always entertaining to see everyone, whether they work together, whether they get in each other's way. But there's Chase with the 203.120 in the AMG, and I believe, let me double check, that is the only AMG so far. So he's currently top of the AMGs.
I should mention, we just rattled off the top 3 times. In P4 is Papa Oso with a 159.365. Those top 4 drivers all are in different manufacturers. Bobagito in the Genesis, Racer 51 in the Mazda, KP in the Honda, and Papa Oso in the Lamborghini.
Oh wow, I like to see that mix up there, and it's not all-wheel drive cars. It's an MR, an FF, and 2 all-wheel drives. So that is also good to see that not one necessarily has a huge advantage. But we will say probably BMW has a slight disadvantage.
Let's take a look at these liveries again.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to wait till we get into qualifying, because qualifying just started.
Getting everybody in and out. Let's go.
Looks like we got our fellow commentator C-Dubs, along with Real Shanman and T-Rex Arms, qualifying in this session. C-Dubs here in the Genesis. Already got the lithograph comics on the side. Way to represent C-Dubs. Oh, and on the hood. Our new league sponsor, for those that weren't here at the beginning. Real Shanman in the Castrol livery. Classic Castrol livery. We've got Slick in his color shift Ferrari. Then T-Rex Arms. I got a big head with little arms.
And little arms.
In his Jurassic Park livery. With the new Jurassic Park movie coming out, I've been watching the series. I've watched the first 3 many times, but I'd never watched 4, 5, and 6. So I got to watch the 4th installment a few days ago. Hope to watch the 5th installment here within the next couple of days. Maybe get the 6th one in before going to see it or in the movie.
My coworker just saw the newest one, and he thoroughly enjoyed it. I struggle with Chris Pratt in these new ones, but he's not in the newest one. So I think I'm gonna watch the newest one and see. I just didn't like the whole thing with the Raptors and Chris Pratt. I believe that we can make dinosaurs. I don't believe that we can be friends with velociraptors. I just don't. I'm sorry. I draw the line.
I heard that same thing from a coworker of mine, where he's like, I mean, movies 4, 5, and 6, like, they're good movies, but you need to get past the whole Chris Pratt can talk to dinosaurs part of it.
Cut
like, if you can get past that,
and it's
you're
like
okay.
Fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed the crazy dinosaur they created that escaped, and all that was fantastic. It was just the Chris Pratt on his dirt bike, riding with his velociraptors.
Yeah,
I just couldn't get by.
Looks like we got another sub here, so we are now sitting at $4.99.
Go
on my channel here. If there's anybody out there just thinking about it, get one more subscriber, I can hit that 500 mark. And there we go, 500. Thank you. Thank you. I hit my goal. I now need to set a new goal.
Oh, that was the wrong one.
How fitting was that, though?
That was fantastic. It was almost like I did it on purpose.
No, seriously, thank you everybody that has come by and supported the channel here. It's been heck of a ride so far, and I'm just getting started. So we will stay concentrated on the PHG World Series for this one. I will be scheduling a 500 subscribers celebration stream in the near future. It's probably going to happen after I get back from the Road America race that's coming up at the end of the month. I'm getting all planned and geared up for that, and I'll have to put a lot together for a 500 stream. And man, that's big. I'm really happy. Thank you everybody.
Congratulations, man. You deserve it. You deserve it.
More to come. Definitely.
We get our first time of a 2-minute .158 from C-Dubs.
That is a decent time. That puts him P11 provisionally on our speed chart. Very nice time. Real Shanman come to the line here. Ooh, with a 2:15.425. Must have had some issues back there. Slick
and T-Rex 201. It looked like T-Rex Arms was kind of using that toe a little bit.
Yeah, T-Rex with a 202.215. And Slick with a 201.449. So definitely some more consistent times, or some faster times in this lobby now.
Yeah, and T-Rex Arms continues to stay in the slip of Slick there, so I think taking full advantage of the toe for that underpowered Alpha. But it looked like C-Dubs was improving on his time as well last I saw.
Yeah, and C-Dubs in the Genesis, that Genesis is fast all by itself. Certainly if you can get the draft from another high-speed car, like another Genesis or something like that. I mean, that Toyota's pretty quick too, so... Like we said, Real Shama must have had some sort of issue that probably caused him to drop back so much. It looks like C-Dubs was off of his time in that second sector. Yeah, Real Shaman's up 9.3 seconds on their previous lap.
Should be good. Oh, runs a little wide, but seemed to hold on to it there.
I was hoping to capture the time check there, and I missed it. But Real Shanman will be coming to the line here shortly. We'll catch what kind of improvement they're going to make. Like I mentioned, that Toyota is pretty fast all by itself. The Toyota used to be the meta for so long. And it's kind of become a little more average, but still a quick car. 204.428. I think Real Shaman's still going to be looking for some improvement. Got Slick and T-Rex coming to the line. Slick does not improve, but T-Rex Arms does. Okay, that was weird. It showed what T-Rex Arms' time was, I think, before he got to the line.
The craziness of lobbies. A 201.894 for T-Rex.
Let's check in on... let's check in on Sean Mon. He's about to hit the time check. Ooh, up another half second. Trying to improve. Let's check in with C-Dubs, who's approaching the second time check.
Where's he going to be?
Ooh, it's down 1.8 tenths. That's something that could be made up within a sector.
And Slick just got a half-second penalty. But yes, you're right. C-Dubs could definitely make it up in that final sector. And
T-Rex has improved 0.2.
And he is staying on the back of Slick there.
He's actually going to get a little bit of help when Slick takes his penalty. And it's going to bring him a little closer, if not allowing him to pass. But I don't think he wants to. He's up 0.5 now.
C-Dub unable to improve.
Real Shanman was still up after the second sector, so seeing if they can hold on to that.
See where they could be coming around the final turn. Want to get on the throttle as early as possible, make the shortest line to the line. You see him drive on the green, ignore the white lines.
Ooh, does not
And,
improve.
Not at all. Slick should not improve. They served a penalty. But T-Rex Arms able to pop up into P2 just barely. With
19
a
thousandths
201.
ahead of Slick.
Wow. 201.430.
Oh, just missed the time check on C-Dubs to see where he's at. I wonder if by the end of this lap, if T-Rex and Slick are going to catch up to Real Shanman and be able to get a bit more of a tow. Sometimes with these camera angles, you can see those others in the background. Shanman up 3.5 tenths again.
Slick is up a tenth now.
And C-Dubs
Close.
is purple by almost half a second. Wow. How about that?
He's looking to get into that 159 club.
And it's crazy what we were looking at between T-Rex and Slick. Even though their times are so close, there's two drivers in between them. KW47 and RSR Pablo Chacon are in between them. Very tight times there.
Real Shanman up 4 tenths. Slick up a tenth. T-Rex Arms up 1.4 tenths. Let's see what C-Dubs gets at the end here. Up 6.7 tenths to a 159.486. Well done.
Incredible.
And look, we got Slick and T-Rex just sniffing at the slipstream from Real Shanman. I bet you they're wishing they had one more lap.
You're right. It looked like Real Shanman did touch the grass a little bit. Did that
Up
slow him
6
down?
tenths.
Very nice.
Slick improves, and T-Rex Arms improves. Everybody improves on the final lap.
Everybody, you get an improvement. You get an improvement.
So in this session, we had C-Dubs joining the 159 club with a 159.486. T-Rex Arms with a 2-minute .968. Slick with the 201.205, and Real Shanman with the 203.803.
Impressive. Impressive.
So where does that puts C-Dubs as P11 provisionally on our speed chart. T-Rex Arms in P19, Slick in P22. Real Shanman is going to be in P26. Or no, C-Dubs was up in 6. Oh, you hadn't sorted.
I hadn't sorted it yet.
Sorry. So C-Dubs is up in P6, T-Rex Arms in P18, Slick in P19, and Real Shanman in P26.
That's really interesting how close T-Rex Arms and Slick's times are, considering that T-Rex Arms was using the toe of Slick. So Slick was essentially setting the lap, and T-Rex Arms was just taking advantage of him punching a hole in the air and getting on through. Very clever and nicely done.
That's exactly how it works. All right, so for those following along at home or wanting to be in the know, right now we've got P14. That'll be the cutoff for top split. Is currently being held by RSR Zilla with a 2-minute .598. So a 2-minute .598 is the time to beat to possibly make it into top split. Now, Shaggy, what do you think the top split time is ultimately going to end up being by the time we're all done here? You have any predictions?
It depends on a few of the drivers that we still have left to go, if they actually, participate. But I'm calling it, you're probably going to need a 159 to make top split.
Yeah.
To be safe anyways.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
only 3 people left with a 2-minute in top split, so I would guess also that we are probably going to get at least 3 people that are going to break that 2-minute barrier. And like you said, depending on who comes in, I mean, we could have 6, 8, 10 of them. Really kind of depends on who shows up. It's like in this lobby we have Captain Howdy. And RW has proven to be fast in a number of these races.
The night is still young.
Although RW is in the BMW, so if I recall, he's been very fast in the Group 3 races. I don't remember specifically how well he's been able to do in the Group 4, and especially at a drafting track like this. We'll see how that works out.
It will be interesting. Yeah, we'll see, because we've only had one other BMW, so we won't quite know where they all stand.
I believe this is a new livery. I don't think I've seen this one before. I like it.
Indeed, and we got another McLaren.
I want to go fast, says the McLaren.
I want to go fast. Looks like they'll get a little bit of a tow there. They're not too far off.
Yep, and we're just in the outlap, so depending on how seriously RW's taking the outlap, Captain Howdy's probably trying to stay as close as possible. But it might be that in a two-car qualifier, you might want to be the second.
Yeah, well, we saw that with T-Rex arms. It seemed to be just enough for him to get over on the Ferrari, and while he was in the Alpha. So it almost would be more beneficial for RW to be behind Captain Howdy, but I don't know that Captain Howdy's going to be that nice.
And Shaggy, correct me if I'm wrong, but you said that bump drafting is allowed in qualifying, correct?
Well, yeah. Especially for here, it's kind of an essential part of real life racing. From F1 to GT cars to any kind of Formula cars is what mostly runs here, anyways. Yeah, you need all the slip you can. You need all the help from the teammates, from the competitors. You know, if they're willing to lend a hand or not. Yeah, it's definitely encouraged because, you know, why not? Otherwise, you're probably in a slower car going to be a second and a half slower than what you could be if you had to slip.
I'm sure this benefits all those drivers that prefer to follow. I've heard from a number of drivers who have said that they prefer to follow somebody that's how they drive the fastest. And I'm the opposite. Like, when I'm behind somebody, I'm anxious. I'm worried that I'm gonna, you know, if I miss my braking point by myself, I can gather it up and do just fine. If I'm right on somebody's bumper and I miss my braking point, now I'm punting them. And then I feel a lot worse. So I generally brake a lot sooner, or I'm like taking evasive maneuvers to make sure I don't hit them. And it just ends up with a slower lap. When I'm in front, I can just run my lap. But I mean, anecdotally, it seems like I'm in the minority there.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with being able to chase ghosts when you're practicing, when you're doing time trials and stuff. Because that's how I learn, is I watch, and so being able to especially be behind somebody that's faster than me, is of huge benefit.
Well,
but I get exactly what you're saying. When you're racing, it's a different story. But
right, in time trials, certainly.
Yeah,
I love having a ghost to follow in time trials, but there's no chance I'm going to ruin their time trial because they're a ghost.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's totally different in a race where, I mean, because the last thing you want to do is knock somebody off. I mean, you know, number one, but number two, then if you do, you got to worry about, okay, do they now view you as a dirty driver? Are they now going to be out to get you? It just kind of cycles from there. RW putting in a 2-minute .359, real close to that 159.
Forget what we said about the BMW.
Yeah. Proving everybody wrong.
I think it's the way you approach it. Every car has a little a specific way to get the most out of it. Of course, with the BMW, the Group 4, we've learned that short shifting is beneficial on a lot of tracks, and I imagine it's probably helpful here just to get the maximum power and turning, and every little thing you can do to improve your lap time.
It looks like RW is on pace for a 159. He was over 4/10 up in that first sector.
Wow, 4/10. That's gonna. I mean, that puts him in. Yeah. Wow. RW making it look good.
Now, I did see our other BMW qualifier, T.A. Calvert, after he was done, I did see Jorge, who's also a BMW driver, had commented in the chat that he wasn't short shifting enough. So T.A. Calvert may have had a lot of time left on the table just by getting the shifting right. So may want to consult with his BMW brethren. RW looks like
Dominic Toretto, granny shifting and not double clutching like you should will ruin your race.
Like RW had lost just a little bit in sector 2, but still over 3/10 up. This last sector is going to make or break for that 159.
How's he going to do it? Looking smooth.
Yep,
using
kept it
all
tight.
the track.
Comes to the line with a 2-minute .053. Captain Howdy does not improve. Captain Howdy had a big slide coming out of the first chicane. That may have cost him that whole lap. We'll see if we do a little better this time around. Oop, RW with a little wiggle. See how Captain Howdy does coming out this time. Safer.
Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth.
RW approaching the second time check. Looks like they are out of slipstream range at this point. Oh, almost dead even with his previous time. Captain Howdy 2/10 down on their best.
It's also a good thing to note, not every car can handle those sausage curbs like the others. So we'll see different cars taking slightly different lines through those slower chicanes, depending on how much they can handle running over those massive curves. Oh, and that
RW
is
picked
not
up a 1
good.
second pen.
He'd actually go to the pitch right now, and he's able to serve it. I was afraid that I was afraid that the way they work with these penalties that it would put it as being too late, and then they would have to serve it on the next one. But thankfully, it worked out. Okay, so he can still confidently do the next lap.
That was good. Yeah, I shared your same concern there, Shaggy.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute.
RW is not going to improve on this one, so we'll just stay with Captain Howdy. I don't know if that 1 second pen maybe has brought Captain Howdy back to within slipstream range. I think he's still just outside of it.
Yeah. It looks a little far back.
202.016. He's got some fairly consistent times here, but not able to improve on that 201.621. Put down on his first hot lap. See if he gets smooth through the chicane here. There we go. See how RW does coming into the second time check. Or the first time check. Out dead even. Captain Howdy even more dead even with their previous best.
I'm gonna take those lines. You guys can do it. Oh, Captain Howdy.
Picks up a half second pen. That chicane can be tough. So that will probably cost him the remainder of this session. We'll stay on board with RW. They still have a chance to improve. Coming to the second time check now. Ooh, is down 3.5 tenths. That's going to be a bit of a tall order for this final sector. Although Parabolica, you can gain and lose an awful lot of time. That's that final set of corners. See if you can find some secret sauce this time around.
It's braking just right. It's like you don't want to brake too hard, but if you don't brake, you'll understeer right off. And it does get slippery on the other side of that white line as he
all the track. Full
There he
send of the
goes.
century. Comes to the line.
gonna be
Nope.
2
2-minute .875. So
Neither
that
were
2-minute
able to improve.
.053 does still put him provisionally in top split.
It does. It does. Good on him, showing us that the BMW Group 4 isn't hopeless.
Absolutely.
Captain Howdy. Sitting with that 201.621. Not looking too bad there in the McLaren either, so. And it looks like we got more people ready to go. Flux Flare, Craig, Old Man Pip.
People are showing up.
This is going to be interesting to see how the Cayman does. Looks
Yes.
like we do have Slowpoke Rod CBR managed a 2-minute .612 in the Porsche yesterday. So up there in times. But again, one of the cars that the Group 3 is really good and the Group 4 tends to underperform.
Yeah, that poop or Group 4. I almost said poop 4. The Group 4
Those poop
Porsche has never been all that great. The Group 3 used to be wonderful. Now it's kind of meh, but it's still a good car all around. It's a little harder to make fast now, Group 3. But it's still possible.
Indeed. Where are you, Craig? In the Porsche.
Qualifying is underway. PHG Craig out first. In that Porsche, the Black Rifle Coffee Company. It's a nice, clean-looking livery.
Indeed. Just black and white, nice and simple. And I believe Team Porsche are going to work together with Flux Flare just behind them. The Red Bull Porsche.
It's got both Red Bull and Monster on the same car.
Ooh,
That's not going to tear a hole in the universe or anything, is it?
As long as there's no Rockstar, I think it's okay.
Oh. Old Man Pip
And-
rocking the Renault.
Which Renault is that? Because there's two of them, right?
That's the Megane. It's
That's
not the
just
trophy,
the Megane,
is it?
not the trophy.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, the trophy's
I've
Group
always-
3, isn't it? Or is the trophy also Group 4?
They have one in Group 4 as well.
Okay.
I tend to pick the trophy over the standard, if you will. But to each their own. I'm not racing.
All right, remind me when we're done with this split. I'm going to switch to my other controller. I think the controller I'm using right now is the one that has worse stick drift than my other one. They both have stick drift,
Classics.
but one is worse than the other. As I'm doing my livery go around, it's a little herky-jerky.
That's how my Nintendo 64 controllers are. I have 4 that the joystick is completely limp, and so I've had to get aftermarket ones. Ooh, Craig running a little wide in the background, but he's probably going to get a better exit. No, Flux Flare runs wide. They're both off the track.
I think they
As they
still
start
have the
their fly-
slipstream.
Yeah, they're starting their flyers. They may get a better run as long as neither get a penalty, and it doesn't look like they will. So, one follows the other, I guess.
Well, they want to stick together. I'm sure that was inadvertent, but
And sometimes that's another thing when you're following somebody is you're focused on them in front of you, and then they brake late, and then you brake late, and they turn in late, and you turn in late, and next thing you know, both of you are running wide.
Well, again, that goes to that whole following somebody. I find myself doing that. Somebody goes off in front of me, and somehow I do the same stinking thing. It's like, oh, there was my chance to pass. But no. Yes, Papa. We hit 500. Yes, Papa.
Indeed.
We are super excited. Wow, Flux Flare using all the track going through. What are those called again? Lesmo 1 and 2?
Yeah, Lesmo 1 and 2.
PHG Craig has maybe lost a little bit of ground, desperately trying to hold on to that slipstream.
Yeah, I really like Lesmo 2. Number 1 is not my cup of tea. I tend to struggle with the first one and really enjoy the second one.
Oh, see, and I'm the opposite.
That's so funny.
I find that the first one I do much better on. The second one I end up spinning on corner exit too often.
That's fair. I just can't ever get the turn in right. I either turn in way too early or way too late on the first one.
Yeah, see, the first, I used to turn in early until I realized it was a late apex corner. And as soon as I got that figured out, now I love that one.
Nice. See what happens here. Flux is about to come across the line. Definitely pulled a gap on Craig.
201.039. 202.318 for Craig. And Old Man Pip with the 201.554 before getting to the line again.
Very, very nice. Old Man Pip coming in there.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Flux Flare has gotten out of that, or gotten ahead of the slipstream, not able to pull Craig along anymore.
Sometimes you gotta leave them behind.
Flux Flare up 6/1000ths, so very consistent. Try to make sure to catch all of their deltas as they come through the second checkpoint. Ooh, Craig goes a little wide there. I don't know if he's going to pick up a pen for that.
It looks like Old Man Pip is catching up to Craig's slipstream. Not quite there, but he can keep it up. He might get a little help as well.
Flux Flare up 4.5 tenths. PHG Craig now up. Old Man Pip up 6 tenths. Everybody improving on this lap. And yeah, I think you're right. Old Man Pip is getting very close to slipstream range. Hoping if he can just get caught up, might be able to pick up another few tenths just from that toe.
Yeah, he's not far. He's not far off. Ooh, using all the track, Flux Flare. Looks like it is going to be an improvement. What's it going to be?
Up a half a second. Craig up a half second. Old Man Pip almost up a half second. So improvements across the board. A 2:0517 for Flux Flare, just outside of top split. That will put him E15 provisionally, but he still has 2 more laps to try to improve. Maybe get himself into top split. Just sniffing at the door. The P14 is currently held by PHG Aero with a 2:0451.
Ooh, and there's an improvement.
He needs less than a 10.
Yeah. I think he cooked it a little too much. Yeah.
Picked up a pen.
Went a little too deep.
Hate to see it.
But
We can see
that may bring PHG Craig back into slipstream range. They are all still pretty close. I think Old Man Pip, again, is just right there. If all 3 of these guys could hook up, that could be beneficial for all of them.
Indeed. It's the only one it wouldn't technically benefit would be Flux, but he's already, you know,
Well, unless they
ahead.
bump him, of course.
Sure. Of course, yeah.
All three of these guys
Right.
looks like they're down on this lap.
They're going to have time for one more.
Yeah.
And
It really looks like
Go
they're
ahead.
all right at the edge of that slipstream.
going to comment on Mr. Casual having nerds and bomb pops. I would love some nerds and bomb pops. Ooh, and Old Man
Oh.
Pip does improve.
Has a stellar third sector, and I think is more solidly in the slipstream now. Hoping that this last hot lap really could be what he needs.
That was very nicely done. Craig unable to improve. Flux Flare unable to improve. And yeah, he is full on in that slipstream. I don't think Craig is quite there on Flux.
Flux is
But
ahead.
Old Man Pip.
Oh, and Old Man Pip was too close. I didn't get the time check, but with as close as
I
he
saw
is,
it. I saw it on my screen. He's up 7.5 tenths.
ooh boy, that slipstream is really helping him.
Problem is, if he catches him, which it looks like he's going to, that's where there's going to be an issue going into the final chicane. Could slow him up a bit.
Yeah, it's a matter of, at that point, do you bump draft and just make both of you faster? Or do you try to get the pass done and slow both of you down? Unless, of course, you can get it done cleanly before the corner when Flux is up 3/10.
Old Man Pip up 5 tenths, so he has lost a little bit of time. And he runs
Ooh,
wide.
He goes really wide. That's going to be a
could
pen,
a
isn't
pen.
it?
Let's find out.
Oh,
It is. Oh my goodness. And
That
he
is
was on
unfortunate.
wide.
He finally got the circumstance he was looking for and it was gaining a lot of time.
And that's that following, these cars aren't super heavy downforce, but there is dirty air still. And then, like we've been talking about, it can throw you off if you're too close behind the driver in front. You make a mistake like that. Flux, unable to improve.
Craig improves with a 2:01.5.
Let's see these official results here.
2-minute .517 puts Flux Flare P15 provisionally. Old Man Pip with a 2-minute .839 provisionally P21. PHG Craig with that 2:01.535. It's in provisionally P26. Old Man Pip with that. What'd you say he was at? He was 7 tenths up at one point. He was potentially going to take over Flux Flare and qualify for top split if he would have been able to keep out of getting that penalty.
Yeah, he was 7 tenths up at the end of the first sector, and then he caught Craig and Lesmo 1 and 2, and then he was 5 tenths at the end of the second sector, and then got that penalty. So it was tight. It was tight. All these times are tight. These are going to be some really tight and fun races because everybody's qualifying for their split. So it's going to put everybody who's roughly the same speed racing against each other, which makes for very exciting races.
All right, TK, so you got the helm for a minute. I got to go across the room to go swap out my controller.
Absolutely. So far we have Root, McNaughty, and Dejan. Dejan, who just joined us. He just found us. Welcome, Dejan. Glad you signed up. He's going Team BMW. Root in the G70, and of course McNaughty supporting his fellow teammate Simon, who made the World Series. Going to be in LA in November, rocking the Lamborghini. So Root comes out ahead of McNaughty, 2 all-wheel drive cars that we've seen be pretty quick around here. Genesis currently in P1 with Bobagito, and Papa Oso and JK85 CBR are both in the Lamborghini sitting P4 and P5. So we should see something pretty special here, and we'll see if our newcomer, Dijon, in the BMW can show us a thing or two. Again, if you're interested in joining this league, you can join at any time. Just click that link pinned in the chat, sign up. Dijon did just earlier this evening. Now he's in here racing. We would love to have you. This is the last night of qualifying for this weekend. We are currently in round 6 of season 2. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I can't believe we're 6 rounds in. We've been doing a lot of work. And exciting news with this being the 6th round. Salamander got to 500 subscribers, and we have a sponsor, Lithograph Comics. Big thank you to Lithograph. You can see their QR code in the bottom right-hand corner. Check them out on Instagram.
Have we called out the elephant in the room here?
What's the elephant?
The cheater.
The cheater? Oh, Root. He doesn't cheat. Come on. He's got the Game Shark, the Genie, Nintendo Power. He's got it all. And look at Mignotti.
In style.
In style. Mignotti just tucked in. And look at the size difference in those two cars. That is very interesting.
Well, one's a 4-door. And one's a 2-wing, or a 2-door, what do they call the scissor doors or whatever?
The suicide doors.
No, not suicide doors. They're
yeah.
The gull wing?
No, the gull wing is the ones that open up sideways.
I think scissors.
I think they are the scissors.
Yeah.
But you're right. That Lamborghini is so much lower to the ground.
One's a luxury sedan and the other's a supercar. There we go.
One I see every day pretty much, and the other not very often.
The other you take a picture when you see it.
Right.
The other one's like, another Genesis.
Oh, and Dijon further back got a half-second penalty going through the final chicane. So this lap is not going to help them, but Mignotti continuing to stay on the tail of Root. They're about to cross the second sector.
I have a feeling these two are probably working together on purpose.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, because on the outlap, Mignotti had a 1-second penalty, but he was still on Root's bumper at the end. So, assuming Root was waiting for him.
Well, the one time Root thinks he's cheating when it's actually legal. So, it's not cheating, buddy. It's allowed.
It's allowed.
Here they come to put in their first hot laps. And they are only 8/100ths apart. Root with a 159.781. And Mignotti with a 159.861. So there's two 159s there.
Right off the bat.
Dijon with a 205.906. Just the first hot lap we've seen from Dijon, so looking to see if they can improve on that. Mignotti's still tucked in there with Root. That Genesis does punch a big hole in the air.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it's interesting to see how low and wide that Lamborghini is compared to the Genesis. Because, yeah, you're right. It's literally just opening it up.
Like a nice little vacuum.
Yeah. Exactly. Because it looks like they're both improving.
It's like if you've ever been behind an 18-wheeler and you have like a pretty narrow car, a little car, and you can almost feel the wind on either side of the car from the big hole punched.
certainly
When I
had
drive
times
home-
where I've been following an 18-wheeler probably too close and have been able to pretty much let off the gas. You can just feel it pulling you along.
Oh yeah, that's McNaughty right now.
Absolutely, yeah. With my when I take my little MX-5 to work, I drive home on a 2-lane interstate where the left lane is for passing only, no trucks, and the 18-wheelers still get in the left lane. And I mean, I'm literally like almost touching them in my little MX-5, just cruising. There's no the wind stops from the convertible. Is like it's just smooth.
Coming to the line, Root with a 0.2 improvement. McNaughty also with an improvement on that lap. Root down to a 159.584.
I think these guys can almost smell. Oh no! Oh no!
McNaughty got in a little late on that one. A little late on the brakes.
A little bit.
But he's still staying tucked in. He wants to be the follower in this one. Let's check in with Dejan. Looks like Dejan did improve by 1.9 seconds over their previous attempt to a 204.096. So learning what this BMW is doing. Dejan being the newcomer, one little tidbit, this BMW Group 4 wants to be short shifted. Like very short shifted. So if you're still listening, give you a little bit of a tip there. When Root picks up a 1 second penalty.
Thankfully, this lap really won't be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, they had run into each other anyway, but you got to wonder, is McNaughty now going to be the leader?
That is true.
I mean,
Will he slow down or go through?
I mean, neither one of them are going to set their fastest lap here, so he could just as well just slow down and stay behind if that's what he wants to do.
You can do anything that you wanna do. And he slows down.
Yep.
We're gonna rock and roll.
He is a 1.5 seconds off of his fastest, so doesn't look like anyone's going to improve on lap 4 here.
If these two can lock this in, this could be something epic because he's close enough to bump draft them on the long straights. If they can get their braking zones in place, because there we go, we're gonna get a little bump right there. Keep on going. They are close. McNaughty's gonna have to brake early, but braking early won't hurt him that bad if he can get a good exit. And Root, oh my goodness, completely misses his braking point. McNaughty goes through. At least he gave him a big toe into turn 1. We'll see if McNaughty was compromised as he comes across the first sector zone right before the second chicane. That could have messed him up quite a bit.
Yeah, it looked like Root probably just didn't properly take into account the additional speed he got from the bump draft. But it does look like McNaughty is also 0.8 down in this first sector, so it looks like they both may have suffered from that incident.
Yeah, I think so. So it's up to Dejan to see if he can improve.
Well, he's
and he's only down.
Yeah, 1.5. That he can make that up. Back on board with McNaughty to see if he pulls a rabbit out of a hat here.
I gotta step away real quick.
Okay. McNaughty's still down 0.6. That might be a bit of a tall order to try to make that up in that final sector. So we'll watch what Dejan's doing here. Dejan's still revving that Beamer out. So he did a 204 flat. It certainly has some room for improvement and is 3.8 up. So he's probably got a good another second, in the bag if he talks to some of these other BMW drivers and gets the shifting point taken care of. He gained a 0.5 second just in that sector 2. all the track in Parabolica. Comes
like
to the
his
start
chromed out
finish
livery.
line and improves almost
There
a
we
whole
go.
second to a 2:03.164. So
All right.
big improvement for DeJean throughout that stint.
Yeah. That puts him above his fellow BMW teammate of T. Calvert.
All right, so PHG Root with his 159.584 provisionally puts him P8 on our speed chart. McNaughty with the 159.832 is P11. We are now down to just one driver in the 2-minute range that is qualified for top split. And DeJean qualified in P32 with a 2:03.164 out of 35 drivers. We are about halfway through this qualifying session, another hour and a half to go. Plenty of room for more.
Indeed.
Yeah, 2 159s in that one. I mean, we see what happens when people work together. And they get it right.
And they get it right. We also see what happens. Luckily, they got it right at least once, because then after that, it was interesting.
All right, we got my fellow Corvette compatriot Fernando in here. I wonder if Better Dan's going to join up to help out.
I believe that is our first Chevrolet to jump in.
It is.
Very nice.
DeJean, if you are still listening, we need you to exit the lobbies so we can start the next qualifying. Thank you. Good job on that one.
Yes, and welcome. Thank you so much for hopping in. And Nasty in the Mustang. So we got muscle car mayhem going on right now.
Chevy versus Ford.
Nasty.
All right, so while we are waiting to get this started, we'll once again remind everybody that we have a new sponsor for this season, Lithograph Comics. Lithograph Comics is not a store, but rather a comic book enthusiast bringing awareness to the hobby and the comic book collecting community. Located on Instagram, you'll find Greg, aka Litho, sharing comic book history, stories, and his personal collection spanning a 35-plus year comic book journey. That's Lithograph Comics on Instagram. Thank you, sir, for sponsoring PHG World Series.
Indeed. Are either of you comic book readers?
I am not. I've never been into comic books. I really got into playing Magic the Gathering, which is kind of the same sort of people. But
you had to go to the same strip mall to get that stuff back.
Right.
Yeah, I'm the same with the collectible card games and different like fantasy and lore like that. So comics are not necessarily like, like I do enjoy them, but it's more of the, I guess, video media, movies and everything that they're based off of, So, but every now and then you can kind of go back to the comics and, for reference and whatever, for a different story, to kind of see where a story for a character that has their own movie or whatever, Marvel and DC and everything, to kind of see where they could possibly take the story based on the comics. A lot of times they change it up. That's like the with The Walking Dead. All of that's based off of a comic book series.
I have the first two compendiums
Or
of The
graphic
Walking
novel,
Dead.
rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I certainly see why people get into comic books. It's just never something I have, but I get it.
Yeah, I got into the graphic novels. The Walking Dead, I had the first two compendiums, and so that's like up to like season 6 or something like that. Whenever they make it to DC, spoiler alert. And then the Sin City, I got into those. The Sin City graphic novels were really good, and then like the manga of Initial D and that stuff. But then I grew up, in the '90s, so we had the best Spider-Man and we had the best X-Men Saturday morning cartoons that like ever existed. So, and Fernando gets the exit wrong there. But yeah, you're right. All the media we've consumed does stem from those original comic books, and it is fun to go and see, where they got those stories from to tell the stories they're telling us now.
The last ones I actually outright bought weren't necessarily Marvel or DC, but it was I guess it was more of the Legends Star Wars stories.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was like a Vader, pretty much anything with Vader I bought. So it was like different stories and things that they haven't explored in the movies, but hopefully they will make some kind of a movie, or I don't know, reboot the sequels.
Yeah.
Because they were not very good. But if they would have gone the correct way with a lot of that, it would have turned out much better. So hopefully the comic books will actually, give light to that.
Indeed. Yeah, it's fun. I do enjoy. I had one of my neighbors, his dad. So he's my buddy. We would play soccer and football and stuff in the yard. His dad was a comic book illustrator. And so his garage was full of, he could draw every comic book character. It was the coolest thing. I remember sitting and just watching him draw Spider-Man and just being blown away by what he could do. I was like, what a cool job to have.
I actually had a friend back in my hometown that his dad knew like an animator for, I want to say, the comics they had for the Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah.
And so like he would go on and on and on about Ninja Turtles and whatever. But I think they also I don't know if he was like a raving lunatic or if he was actually being truthful about it, but he said something about a lot of his ideas were stolen or like taken away and turned into something else without his permission.
Drama.
Yeah, he never got credit for some of the stuff he did.
I believe that 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That sounds very believable. And Fernando picks up another penalty as Nasty loses it there. Oh my goodness. Not looking good for either driver at the moment. See what happened to Nasty. It looked like he was up.
It's like he had gotten onto that curb just a bit too much and just back end came around. Caught it, but that's going to kill that lap.
Absolutely.
And Fernando was another half-second penalty as well.
Yeah, and he was up on his time, so that definitely hurt.
I'm not sure how much that 2:03.112 that Fernando put on his first hot lap was his best effort or not. We'll see if with this pen he does better or needs to try harder on the next lap.
Yeah, I don't think it was because he did lose it coming out of the first chicane.
Yeah, nope,
he still improved. Yeah,
almost a quarter second.
He had an error on his first hot lap, so even with that half-second penalty, it seemed to not hurt him too bad.
Yeah, so now at a 2:02.4.
I feel like he could probably get a 2 flat if that's the case.
If he can get it right.
Yeah, I mean, you'll easily gain a second if you can just have that same clean lap without the pen.
Absolutely.
I will say the Corvette has grown on me so much. Everybody knows I'm not big on American cars by now, but I have learned to love the Corvette in this game.
Nasty is up 2/10 on track to just about match Fernando's time.
Using all the track there, wagging his tail in the dirt.
Mustangs
Style
do have
points.
tails.
They do. They do. I've experienced them firsthand, both in an automobile and the animal.
Didn't know we were going to be witnessing a horse race today.
Indeed, Fernando not able to improve.
But he's only down 2/10, so without that pen, he's technically
he'll
going to improve. And
definitely-
Nasty up 4/10.
Looking
These guys
good.
are pretty even.
And his booty sweat mobile, I see.
He actually asked me if that was okay to have for the league. I said, "There's nothing wrong with that. It's fine."
There's nothing wrong. We live in Shaggy. We live in Texas. We know first thing about booty sweat. I mean, it's an everyday thing for us here in Texas.
I feel like we should have one of those commercials where you like send 30 cents to help somebody suffering from booty sweat.
Fernando up almost a full second,
Awareness.
9/10. And Nasty up almost 7/10. Big improvements by both drivers.
Well done.
201.952 for Nasty, and a 201.480 for Fernando.
I think I can hear
Very
that.
impressive.
It's unfortunate they're not in each other's slip. They haven't been able to get hooked up.
Yeah,
Just keep
they
getting
could work
faster.
together.
This is the final lap. Fernando up another 10th and a half. Well, Nasty is down 3/10 on this one. Did look a little smoother through that second chicane. I do love the sound of that Corvette. Even the Group 4.
Even the Group 4. V8's a V8, right?
That nice rumble. That low guttural
Mm-hmm.
sound. Ooh, he's up over a quarter of a second. I see the Mustang. Ooh,
Oh,
Nasty
there we
came
go.
back and is now a 10th and a half up. The Mustang does have a little bit more of a rip roar kind of sound to it, as opposed to that low guttural thing you get from the Corvette.
Indeed. Indeed. When you get to see these types of cars in real life, it's really fun to hear the difference, and you can tell what the car is before you see it, just based on the sound.
Yep. Fernando comes across the line up almost a 10th. Nasty comes across on his final attempt. Also up about a 10th. So they continued to improve throughout the stint.
Well done, gentlemen.
Fernando with a 201.384. Provisionally, that puts him P28.
P26.
Or P26.
Sorry, I just refreshed it.
I keep trying to get at this a little too quick. Nasty with a 201.836. Only a half second behind, but is provisionally P31. So there are 4 positions between Fernando and Nasty with only that half second gap. Less than a half second gap.
Less than a half second. And we currently have 37 drivers who have qualified. And I see we got PHG Turbo, PHG Iron Fix, and PHG Strict 9. Oh, we get our first Audi, I believe. With the TT.
Of this session, yep.
Love to see it.
Or of this
Turbo.
round, I should say.
Yeah. And the Porsche.
Another Porsche. Strict 9, I believe, is in the GTR. Jean in the chat talking about being at Road America for the GT World Challenge.
Oh,
Jean,
nice.
I'm going to be at Road America for the IMSA race in 22 days. Not like I'm counting. But I am very much looking forward to going to Road America to watch the IMSA race again this year. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah. There's a huge difference in And IMSA, going to IMSA or WEC versus going to the World Challenge. The World Challenge is like no ropes. You can go anywhere you want, do whatever you want to do for really cheap and get to see some awesome cars. I go to that one at COTA, and it's a blast. And then when you go to WEC or IMSA, you still get a lot of access, but it's not quite the same. But you do get to see a lot more cars and a lot faster cars in a much more organized weekend.
Yeah, last year was the first time I'd ever been to a quote-unquote professional race. And, I had the time of my life. It had been a bucket list item of mine for years to go to some kind of race. Initially, it was NASCAR. I've kind of gotten out of NASCAR, but going to the IMSA race was so much fun. I highly recommend somebody or anybody, if you can get to a real race. I mean, the sim racing stuff is fun. It's awesome. We love doing it. But it's a lot different from a real car race.
Yeah,
definitely.
You get all the senses. All the senses are engaged, and it is so much fun. And you hear a lot about how much stuff costs, but really, specifically the World Challenge, America, that is a very inexpensive race for the day. Like at COTA, it's like $40 for a day of racing, and you get to see like 5 races plus practice. I know IMSA, you're getting more into the $100 area.
Yeah, I think my ticket was turbo goes off on his first hot lap. Never mind. We hadn't started. We hadn't started yet. Nobody panic. Fake news once again. But yeah, my ticket to IMSA was $150, but that's for 4 days.
For the full weekend, yeah.
That's Thursday, impressive. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You get to watch every practice, every qualifying, every race. And they've got, I believe they've got the Mustang Cup, or the Mustang Challenge, the Porsche Carrera Cup, Challenge. The Lamborghini Super Trofeo Series, the Michelin Pilot Challenge, and then the WeatherTech Series. So there's 5 series going on that weekend.
That's fantastic. Yeah, it's so much fun. And it's like, it's up to you. How much can you endure?
Right.
How much can you stand in the elements? And it's just so much fun. And the best thing is you're around, everybody who's there is there because they love it too.
Right.
Just like this. Like, we're all here because we love this game and sim racing and the community, the people in the chat, same way. So it's just like that, but in real life. And I've been fortunate. I've become good friends with Turbo, who we're on board with because of the Rolex 24 at Daytona.
That's
cool. It's been very fun to get to know people, and I also got to meet. I've met CMB at Rolex, and then of course we had Turtle Shell and Shaggy and Papa join us this past year as well. So fun to try to meet people. There's still a sliver of hope I can make it Salamander, but I can't plan for it. It's just gonna kind of have to be if the weekend lines up and I can make it. I'm going to try to be there.
I'd love to see you. You mentioned meeting people there. It was really one of my coworkers who I didn't even realize was a racing fan until just a little over like a year and a half ago. We had known each other for years. And all of a sudden I'm telling him about, we hadn't talked for a while at work. And he's like, so what's new? And I'm like, well, I got this YouTube channel thing I'm doing now. It's, sim racing. He's like, you're into racing? I'm like, yeah. He's like, so am I. He owns the Dodge Ram with the Viper engine in it. The
SRT10.
So he's got that truck. He's telling me about, I go to this IMSA race every year. It's over in Road America. It's only like 5 hours away. It's so accessible. You'd love it. He was selling me on it hardcore. And, after checking out the pictures that he sent me of going and checking out the website, and doing the cost and all that, I'm like, I think I'm going to give this a shot.
Yep.
Do not regret it one bit. So he wasn't able to go last year when I was there, but he is going this year. So I'm really looking forward to spending some time, having some beers, watching some racing with my buddy.
Oh yeah.
Which, if you could be there too, I'll have 2 buddies to have beers with and watch racing.
It'd be fantastic, and it looks like we see some buddies on track.
Absolutely.
As everybody's working together. Turbo leading the charge. And, oh, he lets Beans go by. So,
Whoa! Big drift. Oh!
Turbo is in VR, so he's scratching this lap. And I think he realized I don't want to be the leader, because the leader isn't going to get the best time.
I want to watch this drift again. That was epic.
Yeah, let's see.
Whoa! Power slide.
His back left tire touched the grass just enough to let it all break loose. And now he is at the back of the train and going to get the most benefit from the slipstream, as Beans will be the first one across the line.
Beans way out ahead. I think he is ahead of the slipstream, but those other three could certainly set down a faster time and reel him in throughout the remainder of this session.
Yeah, because those back three are very tight on each other. Let's see what kind of time. Bean with the, wow, first lap into the 159s. Well done, Beans.
Strychnine with the 202. Iron Fix also with the 202. Turbo with the 206, but he kind of gave up that lap. So right on Strychnine. In fact, getting the pass done on Strychnine. Trying to get into Iron Fix's slip. Now they're going to be fighting over who gets the slip here.
And Beans was getting the tow from Turbo up until Lesmo 2. So Beans was definitely getting a little bit of a slip in that first part of the lap.
Right, and Dejan in chat saying he'll be driving from Minnesota. I'm also from Minnesota. I'm going to have, offline, we're going to have to get together. I'm going to have to figure out where you're at. Maybe we can meet up. There are a couple of us Minnesotans as part of the community here.
Indeed.
Yes way.
Yes way.
Let's see, where are we at as far as time? Beans is down about 4/10. Whoop.
There we
Turbo
go.
up
Turbo's
4.5 seconds. So no surprise there. He had given up that previous lap. Of course, he was going to have a big gain on this one. Looks like Iron Fix is
pulled away.
Is up there as
Beans
well.
Slowed down a little bit. Where's Iron Fix going to be?
Beans coming to the line. Does not improve.
Iron Fix went into the pits.
Turbo with a 4.7 second improvement down to a 201. Yeah, Iron Fix into the pits to get new tires, I would assume.
He is in the front wheel drive car. So that might be a strategy he's been practicing.
Those tires are not looking too bad, but...
No, they're not.
Well, we'll see if it pays off.
Turbo with that 201.695. That puts him up into P32, but Beans up there at P14. Looking really nice.
Turbo 0.8 up.
There we go.
Still put him into a high 2-minute flat. Strychnine, I believe, is in his slipstream. So maybe trying to get a little bit of extra time here as well.
Two very different cars. That big, heavy, all-wheel drive GTR, which has been a dominant car in Group 4 for a while. Seems to have fallen out just a little bit, but not too much.
Beans is down about a 10th. Turbo got up 1.4 seconds now. Strychnine also up a 10th. Ooh, a bit of a drift heading into Parabolica. Or not Parabolica, what's that corner called?
I just call it the third chicane, but it has a name. Somebody in chat will help us. Parabolica is coming up.
I know there's a popular name, and I just can't think of it. Somebody's going to say it, and I'm going to feel dumb. Oh yeah,
obviously that one. See if Beans is able to improve. Woo, cutting it close. No,
not
but
quite.
Turbo.
Ascari. I knew it.
Ascari.
Turbo 1.2 seconds up, so a 2.5 minutes. Strychnine also with an improvement. About a half-second improvement there with 2:01.520. Everybody putting some good improvements in.
Iron Fix will be on their outlap, or finishing their outlap.
Let's see where Beans is at the time check. Ooh, he is purple. Up 1.6 tenths. Turbo about even. Strychnine about even with their previous best laps. Now, Strychnine did have a bit of a drift going into Ascari there, so he is poised to improve if he's that close on his fastest time. Iron Fix coming to the check, up a half a second. So those new tires helping him out.
Yep.
Beans coming to the end of the second sector. Down 1.5 tenths. That's doable. Turbo down 1/4 of a second. Strychnine up 1/4 of a second.
There we go.
Strychnine continuing to try to get closer to that 2-minute flat, sub 2:01 time. Iron Fix up 1.5 tenths. Lost a bit in that second sector. Beans coming to the line the last time. Oh, just missed his best lap. Turbo up about 1/10.
Wow.
And Strychnine up 6/10. Big improvement on that final lap. With 2-minute .888. Broke that 2-minute 1 barrier. Iron Fix trying to do better on this one. Does come across. 3.8 tenths up. Down to the 2:01 range. So we got one more 1:59 time in here, which now officially makes top split all sub 2-minute times. Barely with this 1:59.991 in the AMG.
Wow.
Turbo with the 2-minute .373 puts him provisionally P16, so solidly in split 2. Strychnine with a 2-minute .888 puts him provisionally in P25. And Iron Fix with the 2:01.727 is provisionally P34. We have had 41 drivers qualify to date. We have a little over an hour left to go. Get some more people in here. Looks like we've got we've got Ecstasy queued up already.
Ecstasy in the McLaren, I believe.
Yep. All right, Beans, if you're listening, we need you to leave the lobby, please. There we go. Thank you.
I'm going to step away momentarily. I'll be right back.
Take your time. Ecstasy in that blue McLaren. Very blue. Dejan, are you D. Smith, who joined Papa's Discord? a little while ago. It looks like we are going to get qualifying underway. Ecstasy going to do a solo qualifying effort this time around. A look at Estacy's livery here. Oh, we also got Beavis in here. I didn't notice he joined at the last second. Estacy getting the lithograph comics onto the car immediately. Thank you, Estacy, for representing our new sponsor for the lead. Beavis also in a McLaren, so we got two McLarens in this one. Very nice red, white, and blue. With the Beavis and Butthead Beavis on the back. Very nice. Very on point. Looks like these two are trying to stay at least somewhat close together, utilize that draft. Ecstasy were to slow down just a little bit, they could probably get a little bit more cooperation. Go through a Ascari here. You know, I'm going to use that term for the rest of the night. Now that I know what the name is. They come into Parabolica. Going to want to try to get a good exit out of here. A lot of the time can be gained or lost coming out of Parabolica onto the long straight. Beavis might be falling back just a little bit. Really wants to try to hang on to that slipstream if he can. They both begin their hot laps, heading down into the first chicane. Heavy braking zone. At least they're not close enough together that they got to worry about getting into each other.
We already saw that once tonight.
We did. Looks like Ecstasy got through there clean, as did Beavis. Come through the sweeping, long sweeping right-hander to the second chicane. Another heavy braking zone, again, filled with those curbs you really have to look out for. Ecstasy got through there a little smoother than Beavis did.
Yeah, Ecstasy looking really nice.
Really smooth through Lesmo 1. Chucking into Lesmo 2. Keeps it on the track. Beavis also.
It looks like he's just too far behind to be in the slipstream. That looks like over a second to me.
I think you're right. I mean, he's right there.
Yeah.
He wants to radio up to SC. Be like, just hold up. Like 1 second for just one lap.
Ooh. A little squirrely. Getting a little bit on that AstroTurf, but that McLaren is planted.
Yes. Much like the Lamborghini, a very low center of gravity. Again, if you were on track with the Genesis, it looked like a little baby car. You want to pat the hood and say, "Oh, you're so cute."
So
That's
cute.
what I think when I say the 4C
Right.
baby car.
Ecstasy with a
Tiny.
201.633 and Beavis with a 202.380 to start with. Respectable times.
Start. Both in the same car. No.
That's always a little stressful when you're on track with somebody in the exact same machinery as you. When I did my qualifying at Spa, I qualified with several of my fellow Porsche drivers, and I was definitely the slowest.
And I wonder if Ecstasy was listening. It looks like he may have slowed down. Beavis is most definitely in the slip now.
And Beavis just went purple while Ecstasy was down a second. So what you're saying matches up.
See if they're going to try to work together. Maybe they can both benefit.
Absolutely.
That's probably the plan. They are now nose to tail.
And then the number of drivers that have shared, with the various leagues I've been involved in, how much they use the live broadcast as a spotter, for information. So many of these drivers have the live broadcast going while they are driving, and it's fun to hear them just be like, well, I heard you say this, so I went ahead and did this.
Perfect way to hear the commentators curse before it happens.
Right? I know I experienced that as
Real
I got
time.
the pit lane exit. Thank you, Tussin Box, for your first commentator's curse.
I did post
I'm
that.
glad it was on me.
I did make that short. I'm trying to remember if that's the one I posted.
Yes, you did.
Okay, that's the one I posted today, wasn't it?
Yep. I watched it. I was like, I remember that. There we go. Beavis definitely able to improve.
Yeah, 201.739. Just behind
Ecstasy,
Ecstasy still, but now that they're hooked up on the same lap, running at the same speed. I mean, it's only going to benefit Ecstasy if Beavis can actually get up there and bump him a couple times. Otherwise, this is benefiting Beavis more.
Indeed, and they are technically on different teams, though we will say that PHG and BHR jive real well together.
Ecstasy was purple. Ecstasy was purple in that first sector. I'm sure Beavis may have been as well.
I believe he was. I have an eye on Beavis, so I'll let you know.
Okay.
You can keep on Ecstasy, because they're going to cross almost at the same time.
Right. I was going to either jump between them really quickly or have you ride on board with one. All right, so here they go. They're coming to the second time check. Ecstasy is still purple by a half a second.
And Beavis by 0.308. So he's going to be behind Ecstasy, but he is purple.
Ecstasy is starting to pull away coming out of Ascari. We mentioned before, Ascari is one of those spots, a lot like Parabolica, where you can gain or lose a lot of time. There's a lot of speed to be had getting through there, but it's really tricky to get right. Now, granted, having a planted car like the McLaren does help. And with it not having those curbs, that's helpful as well. But something like the Genesis, which is has a higher center of gravity, has a harder time through something like Ascari. And Ecstasy gained 0.6 with a 201 flat on that one. Beavis also improved to a 201.311, so both in the low 201s. Ecstasy trying to get a sub 201 here. They are on their final shot.
Beavis is very close.
Yeah, Ecstasy had pulled away coming out of Ascari, but Beavis has reeled him back in. Ecstasy down 0.4.
Is purple 1.5 tenths. So that toe definitely helped. If he can stay with it, we could see him leapfrog Ecstasy.
See them running through the Lesmos.
Using all of the track there, both drivers. Got to do it. And it's not a wide track here. It's going to make the racing very interesting because it's really not that wide, and it's grass on either side, and it can make it a real challenge.
He's still down about 0.4.
Beavis is no longer purple, but they are up on their time. About a tenth and a half. So, unless they can... I mean, this is where the slipstream really comes into play.
Right. Yeah, he's definitely closer coming out of Ascari this time than last. So this could be a big lap for Beavis. As long as they can hold it through Parabolica, looks like they both do.
Foot to the floor.
Coming to the line, S to C does not improve, but Beavis does leapfrog by over half a second.
Wow.
So
That was huge.
Big gain with that slipstream on the final lap. Gives him a 2-minute .496. That was what,
Beavis
a
owes
7/10 improvement on that final lap?
Yeah, Beavis owes S to C a beer, I think, after that one.
Yeah. I mean, and S to C was still with a respectable time of 2:01.032. That put what? That puts Beavis as provisionally P19 on our speed chart, and S to C P28.
Well done. That's good to see, and you can see, you got to take what you can get, what's out there, and make it work for you, and definitely did. Looking very nice.
All right, looks like in this one we've got Better Dan coming in to be
a better Dan.
second Corvette qualifier. We got Leo Las Vegas coming in with his colorful Mazda. Looks like we've also got Angry Fredbird and PHG Punks. PHG Punks, a relatively new PHG member.
I'm not familiar.
Yep, I believe they just signed the contract within the last week or two.
Ooh, the ink is fresh.
It is. Mr. Casual in here as well. Things are ramping up.
Cash.
Let's go, Cash.
A very casual qualifying run.
As he would.
Leo with the T-case eyes on the back.
Let's go. This car's perfect for it. It's perfect. You can also do it with the Papa decal as well. Just so y'all know.
I haven't seen anybody do that yet.
Somebody did it in my lobbies, and it was fantastic.
Mr. Casual with the Golf livery. I like how he matched up the orange with the headlights. Nicely done.
Casual typically goes with the Hot Wheels, but he does sometimes stray to the Golf. And you can't go wrong with a Golf McLaren.
Kissing a little commentator behind in this session.
That's what we got to do.
We don't give out favors. We're not in charge of anything. We just talk.
We're just here to talk, and we might favor people. You never know.
These are our friends.
Better Dan also with the rainbow leopard on the back.
Go.
The Dorito chip. Oh, he's got a salamander back there.
McNaughty.
He's even added the lithograph comics to the back window. Dan is on point. Further enhancing this beautiful livery of this Corvette.
Designed by Salamander.
Oh, that's right.
I do love the blue shell on the front.
Yes.
I mean, that's great gamer right there.
Angry
Blue shell is wonderful. Angry Fredbird, the brother of our fellow commentator Slow-Mo.
Yes. Oh, PHG Punks also with a Golf livery in a Mustang.
Classic.
We've got another Mustang out here now.
Looking good.
I have a Jaguar with that exact same livery.
So it looks like the Golf drivers may be trying to hook up in this one. You guys are all relatively close together. Better Dan has, I believe, gotten a little bit of a lead. May not be helping Leo with the tow.
We know how fast that Mazda is in a straight line. I don't know how much it needs a tow. It's more going to be
in those corners, but Leo can handle that thing, I mean, so well. And we do have a Mazda that's currently sitting in P2 with Racer 51, so that bodes well for Leo.
I mean, having Mazda as a manufacturer is really can be difficult because you've got that Mazda 3 front-wheel drive car drives so different from the rotary screaming VGT that is the Group 3 car.
Some might say it's an acquired taste.
Some might be right.
I do enjoy the Mazda 3. I can't drive that Group 3 car. I can't do it. But I do like the Mazda 3. It is fun. Given the right combo, you can have just some crazy fun racing in it.
Back when the game first launched, the RX Vision, I believe, was one of the cars you got if you purchased the more expensive version, along with that Porsche 917. So I really loved driving the RX Vision to start with, before I discovered the Toyota Supra, and then I switched to that for quite a long time. Before it kind of got nerfed and kind of turned into a more middle of the road car, and it's kind of been Corvette ever since.
Interesting.
I mean, everybody's got their favorites.
Yeah. Well, in GT Sport, I was all about the Gulf Aston Martin Group 3 car. That was like the only Group 3 car I drove in GT Sport. And now I can't drive an Aston Martin to save my life.
I don't think the Aston Martins have ever been the meta.
The Group 4. For like
Group 4,
maybe 2 tracks.
Okay.
Yamagiwa was pretty much it. Then the Group 3's never, not really.
Leo has
Leo with the pen.
Because of fuel.
Yeah.
Dan with the 2011 to start with. Oh, Angry Fredbird with the 2023. Mr. Casual jumps with the 2014.
And he was all over the back of Punks, so he's definitely getting it.
Punks with a 202377. Whoa!
Uh-oh.
Angry Fredbird got so squirrely.
Which is odd to see in that Genesis.
Gonna watch this again. Looked like he got into the sand coming out of the chicane here. Oh no, it was the curb that got him loose.
A little too much sausage.
Too much sausage will give you heartburn.
Yeah, heard that. Get just random heartburn for no reason, like literally haven't eaten anything. And just rage in my chest. I'm like, what is going on?
I just realized Leo still hasn't had a chance to serve that penalty yet, so he lost the last lap. He's also going to lose a good time on this lap. Vetter Dan up almost a full second on his previous time. Trying to get down into that sub 2-minute mark. Is it Angry Fredbird reset back to the pit.
Mm-hmm.
Leo served that penalty, so his time will be, well, it will be an official time, but it'll be slow for his pace. Punks has pulled away from Mr. Casual. Not sure if Mr. Casual had an incident or if Punks just got really fast. He did have a 0.6 improvement.
Vetter Dan
with the 159.860. We missed that. Down to that sub 2-minute mark. Corvette. Nice.
Very nice.
Well, Mr. Casual went into the pits.
Into the pits.
Coming out with some crushed rubber. Vetter Dan coming to the first time check. is purple.
Oh my goodness, let's go.
Leo's up 1 3/4 tenths. Oh, that should be some fun math.
So Vetterdan firmly in, well, I say firmly, looking to be firmly in split one. Especially if he's improving. Leo barely keeping it on the track there.
using all of it.
Using the front wheel drive to pull him out. Not getting sucked into that gravel.
Yeah, Leo should have quite a bit better time without the 1 minute penalty in this one. 1 minute, 1 second.
I think it's funny. Leo basically said, well, I purchased the full content for this track. I'm going to use the entirety of this track. Sand, grass, barrier. Yeah. All part of the DLC.
That is one thing we got to appreciate about this game is while the updates are slim, they are free.
Like,
Right.
They are free.
I mean, they're not free of a headache, but they are free.
Yeah.
Dan must have had an issue, lost quite a bit of time, but Leo, up 2.6 seconds, puts himself into P2 in this session.
Two
Looks
minutes
like-
6:55.
Like Punks did not improve on that one. Mr. Casual is still on his out lap. Angry Fredbird on a hot lap. Coming to the second time check.
Should be on a hot lap. Where are you going to be? Well, he didn't
7
really set a
tenths
time,
down.
did he? Yeah.
No, he did set a time, but then reset back to the pits.
Right. That's what it was. Makes it hard to record his time when he does that.
Well, he's 2.458 behind a 159.860. Go.
Yeah, I'm not doing math right now. we're in the third or the second hour, the third hour.
Well, it should be
approaching
a
the third- here we go.
202.298, I think. When Vetter Dan into the pits.
Ooh, you are so close. The 203.
When you're sitting in school and you're thinking, oh, I'll never have to use all this math and nonsense. Well, you didn't predict that you would have to start using it during the PHG World Series to determine someone's time.
Right? I mean, I got my degree in accounting, so like I should. I should, but we had calculators, so.
There you go. I can't do this in my head. I got a calculator for that.
I don't know any accountant who doesn't have a calculator.
I do a lot of stuff in my head too, so don't worry.
Vetter Dan
It's
saying
all
in
good.
chat that 159.860 is his personal best, so
He's done.
he's logging it. Leo did not improve. Punks comes across the line, does not improve. Leave Mr. Casual. Oh, Mr. Casual picks up a pen. Not gonna be able to log an improvement on this lap. Angry Fredbird is our final contestant of this stint, coming to the second time check to see where he's ranking. He's down 4.8 tenths. That it is possible to make that up, but it wouldn't be much of an improvement if he has a perfect final sector here.
Definitely seen improvements, but yeah, you're right. Gonna be tough. Comes around Parabolica, using the all-wheel drive system.
Comes to the line. Oh, down. Yep, down half a second. So Vetter Dan leading this one. The 159.860, another sub 2 minute time. we now have, or we have had, this will be our, that'll make it so there are 2 sub 2 minutes in split 2. And once again, as we are getting more and more drivers, we are seeing some very close qualifying times on the board overall. But Vetterdam with the 159.860 provisionally puts him P12 in top split with 40 minutes left in qualifying. That isn't necessarily safe. Depends on who comes in. Leo with the 2-minute .655 provisionally puts him P25, holding on to split 2. Mr. Casual with the 201.413 puts him provisionally P34. PHG Punks in the Mustang with the 201.785 has him provisionally in P40. And Angry Fredbird in the Genesis with a 202.318 has him provisionally in P42. We have had 48 drivers qualify so far. Like I mentioned, we have 40 minutes left to go.
Test
Plenty of
your
time.
might.
Test your might is right. Dun 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 dun. Or wait, no, that's something else.
No, that it was you just need to add a couple more duns.
It sounded a little too Mission Impossible.
Yes. So it's Mission Impossible on drugs, essentially. If we're being honest.
All right, I'm gonna step away for 1 minute. I will be right back.
Sir.
I will say the all of the Mortal Kombat movies I have thoroughly enjoyed. The classics, the 1 and 2, and then the one they did a few years ago.
It's
Typically,
still crazy though that they originally wanted Jean-Claude Van Damme to be Johnny Cage.
yeah.
But he's like, no, I gotta go make this crappy Street Fighter movie, which it's so good that it's crappy because Raul Julia was like fantastic, and he's like, I gotta carry this whole thing myself.
I gotta do it all.
Like he was doing like Oscar-worthy acting, and everybody else is like, you know, hey, we're acting, cool.
Dude, I'm acting. There's a show I love called Party Down, and they're all actors or writers who their day job is being a caterer, and they're running they're catering a celebrity's birthday, but he ends up canceling, so they just hang out with him, and so they start running lines from one of the writers. And the dude smacks him in the face because it's part of the scene. And the guy's like, why'd you do that? And he goes, dude, I'm acting. He's like, oh, right. Yeah, I'm back in.
It's like method.
Hey, you guys mentioned, or I heard you talking about Mortal Kombat. I did thoroughly enjoy the first 2. They were so cheesy. Like the acting.
Cheesy.
I mean, the fight scenes were great. The acting was not good. But the best part was the soundtrack. Loved the soundtrack to both the first and the second movie. I've never seen the third one, the more recent one. I've heard that one was a bit darker.
I enjoyed it. It was not like the other 2, but it was like you're still in the universe of Mortal Kombat, I guess. But the first 2 they're something else.
Yeah.
And like the special effects for the time are pretty impressive because I can't imagine that movie having that big of a budget.
Right.
And they did a good job. They had what's the guy's name with the 4 arms?
Goro.
They did a good job with him. The deaths were crazy. The final scene of the first one when all the spirits leave.
Yep.
It's like pretty good job. And then the second one, I think so. Like on a movie standard, the first one, much like the first Fast and the Furious, like yeah, it's the acting's not great and stuff, but it like still was a good movie.
Yes.
Like then the second one, much like Too Fast, Too Furious,
everybody loved it, but it's not nearly as good of a movie.
Right. I did honestly like the soundtrack in the second movie even better than the first movie. So there's that.
Yeah.
And they did have another CD, if we all remember CDs, that had come out between the two called More Combat. That was all the same like bands and stuff that was in the first soundtrack, just different songs.
Oh,
So the same
awesome.
genre, it was all still really good music, that same metal techno stuff that is totally my jam.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. I didn't know that. There's a my nieces and nephews got really into Power Rangers a couple years ago, and I was a fan of the first set of Power Rangers, but there's a thing called the Power Rangers Mega Mix, and it's like super metal of all the theme songs. It's like 13 minutes long. It's amazing.
Huh.
And it goes through every generation of Power Rangers, and it's so good. You just listened to it, Shaggy?
I listened to that, and then I also listened to the mashup with Master of Puppets.
I
and
haven't.
The original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme, and it fits so well.
That's fantastic. I bet it goes perfectly. I just saw in chat C-dubs wanting to hear a rundown for Split 1. We got P1 Bobajito, P2 Racer 51, P3 GI KP Wilcox, P4 Papa Oso, P5 JK85 CBR, P6 PHG C-dubs, P7 PHG Fast Cougar, P8 The Cheater PHG Root, P9 Corn Identity, P10 Velvet Thunder aka Tussenbox, P11 McNaughty, P12 PHG Vetterdan, P13 PHG Pyro, and P14 Wade CBR. And it is tight, y'all.
I think you were
It
reading the
is
row
tight.
numbers rather than the position. I think Wade's CBR is P14.
Isn't that what I said?
No, you said P15.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I was looking at the wrong number. Yep. But
yes,
you got the idea.
But yes, Wade is the final qualifier provisionally for top split with a 159.921. And to put that into context, he's ahead of Beans, who has a 159.991. So 7/100 separates the bottom of top split from the beginning of second split.
And it's only a second between P1 and P14.
That's wild.
Just
Yeah.
about a second, yeah.
Yeah, 1.15.
It makes for such good racing.
And for those of you that are new to this, I'm sure there's some of you out here that haven't watched this before. Something we hadn't mentioned is that the qualifying that we're doing today is just split qualifying. So we're determining what drivers will be in what split on race day. Race day is Friday and Saturday. We generally run splits 1 and 3 on Friday and splits 2 and 4. And if we have enough drivers, split 5 on Saturday. On race day, they will run a traditional qualifying to determine their starting order. But because of this being a sort of like a GTWS style point system, the higher your split, the more points you can earn. So all the drivers in split 1, have a better possible point outcome than those in split 2. So
Yeah.
qualifying today just kind of determines what your point possibility will be on race day.
Better to finish last in split 1 than first in split 2, right? Unless you get extra bonus points.
Right. We
for
do
the-
have
all
some.
the fastness.
There are some extra bonus points for leading a lap, for qualifying or having the fastest lap in your split, qualifying
Most
in
laps,
on
yeah.
pole in your split, and then I think the last one is qualifying pole overall. Which right now that's Bobajito.
Indeed.
But yes, it is possible for the first place or the top finisher in Split 2 to get slightly more points than the last place finisher in the split ahead. But not much. I mean, I think you can gain like 10 points on them if you have a perfect race and the other driver has a not so great race.
Yeah. Everything has to go your way.
Pretty much.
Now I want to listen to Power Rangers Mega Mix.
Now, you know, I believe I
Oh
have.
yeah, you got a slide somewhere.
I do have
There
the
it
slide.
is.
I was just looking for it. In fact, I'm gonna. Oh, that's right. You guys are looking at the preview screen. Let me move that over. So there's our bonus points. Fastest overall qualifier is 5 bonus points. Pole of your split is 5 bonus points. Fastest lap of your split is 5 bonus points. Oh yeah, leading the most laps in your split is 5 bonus points, and then leading a single lap is 1 bonus point. So there, I had that on hand.
Perfect. Well done. Excellent production from our man Salamander. Who's going to have to fill out some paperwork after this stream.
Yep.
Hitting his 500 subscribers.
Yes. Once again, thank you everybody. For anybody who has joined in that hasn't hit that like button or subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. All the YouTube things, come back for more. We do a lot of this broadcasting of the PHG World Series. I also do racing of my own. I do some livery design videos. I like designing liveries. A range of GT7 things. Looks like we got Evolved in on this one.
And Evolved had a stellar race not too long ago, coming all the way from the back and finishing P3.
Yes. That was a heck of a charge through the field.
I was in that race, and he went right past me.
Evolved has been fast all year, so that's not a surprise. Waiting for them to ready up, see if they're actually going to put in a qualifier. We do still have a half hour left. We could definitely have some more people join in. We would love to have you. We have had 48 drivers qualify so far. Evolved will be the 49th.
Rocking the Genesis.
We will have at least one more session so we could fit like 12, 14 more qualifiers in.
Ooh, that would be exciting. Come on, y'all, get in here.
Qualifying in bunches works at this track. That would not be the worst idea.
No, it would not.
Evolved with what looks like a new livery here. I haven't seen this one.
Yeah.
Got that gold
What is
underneath. Special gold.
What does it say? Can you read that?
Genesis
So, like-
Massive. I think it's Genesis Massive. I'm not sure what that means.
Interesting. Looks good.
It does look good. Good looking car.
I do like these. Our sales manager has a G70 turbo, the 3.3 liter turbo, and I think they're beautiful. I'm a big fan. I'm a big Hyundai Kia guy. A lot of people want to hate on them, but I'm a huge fan. Best bang for your buck. That's
I tell
for
you,
sure.
when they first came out with the Genesis, was really the beginning of a renaissance for Hyundai. I mean, you're right. They were very much sort of the below standard cheap car, and then the Genesis came out, and a lot of their other models sort of followed suit. They really started upping their game. I own a Kia myself. I have a Kia Telluride, the SUV.
Yeah.
I do love
that thing.
I love that car. It's filled with all the bells and whistles. It's a fun one to drive.
I've been in the car biz, and when the Telluride first came out, I told my boss, I go, Mark my word, half of your friends that drive Tahoes are going to be driving Tellurides. And
Well,
sure enough,
And that was the
so
thing.
many people.
I've always been a buy American kind of guy, and I was looking at the GMC Acadia and you know, the Tahoe and stuff like that. I have a big enough family. I need the third row, so that was a requirement. And then just out of happenstance, I'd gone to a Subaru dealership because I was looking at getting whatever the 4-door Subaru is. I can't remember now.
Their big one?
Yeah.
The Ascent?
No, not the SUV, the sedan.
Oh, the Legacy.
Yes, I was looking at the Subaru Legacy, and because I was thinking of, okay, I've got, you know, my girlfriend and her son live with us, so there's a total of, and I have 3 boys myself, so there's 6 of us. But she has her own car, and at the time I was kind of weighing whether or not to get a bigger SUV or whether to go ahead and get a car that's cheaper, and we just, the few times that all 6 of us go somewhere, we just take 2 vehicles.
Yeah.
And when I went and looked, unfortunately, every sedan I looked at was just not big enough for me and my kids. I'm 6'3.5", and my son, my oldest son, who's only 15 years old, is over 6'4". So
yeah, you need some space.
we had to have the space, and every car we sat in, that was just not going to happen. So we were about to leave the Subaru dealership. We had looked at the car, sat in it, was like, nope. We did test drive the Ascent, and I don't know if it was just how it was configured, but it didn't seem to have the room I wanted. And as we were walking out, in the used car section, they had a Telluride. And I was like, I just kind of like, could I take that one out for a ride? And instantly fell in love with it. I'm like, all right, I need to start looking at these now. And that's what I ended up with, eventually.
Yep. They're fantastic. I'm a big fan.
I mean, when I bought
Big
mine,
fan.
unfortunately, they were already super popular. So I had to, when I ordered it, they said it's going to be 6 months before you get it. I had to wait 6 months from when I put the down payment down before I could finally take delivery of it.
My buddy, the same thing happened. A 2-minute .990 for the first lap of Evolved.
That is a decent first lap. And I mean, the Genesis is one of those cars that can be fast without the slipstream. It's got the power.
Yes. It definitely does.
In fact, Lobagito is our current pole sitter overall and is in the Genesis. And Shaggy, correct me if I'm wrong, but he ran that solo, didn't he?
He did.
So, can be done.
Can be done. Get that momentum built up, get comfortable on the track. He's gone purple ever so slightly.
Ooh, a bit deep in the second chicane, or the first chicane. No, second chicane.
Second. Yep, resets. He's just like, nope, let's start fresh. Put that behind us.
Yeah, back to my Telluride story. Since we have to wait for an outlap, I had ordered the rear wheel drive model. And when the one I ordered show up, it was the 4-wheel drive one.
Heck yeah!
Because when they went to tell me what the remaining balance was that was going to be financed, I'm like, why is it $2,000 more than what you quoted me? And he went looking into it, and he had to walk away for a while. Came back, he's like, I figured it out. It's the 4-wheel drive. Like, we went over all this when you ordered it.
Yep.
It was supposed to be the 2-wheel drive. He's like, yes, it was. So they were kind of stuck in a, what do we do about this? Ultimately, we split the difference. So
there you go.
So I was one of the few people who got a Telluride at the time for under MSRP, because everybody was paying MSRP or more at the time
Or
because
plus,
they were so
yeah.
popular. And yes, Papa, I see you.
Up to it.
501.
Yep.
Yes, Papa.
Awesome.
We got one more sub. I'm at 501. We just rocketed right past 500, and already trying to improve.
Yeah, when that Telluride came out, man, I hopped on board. I was telling everybody, like, this is it. And then when I started talking to people, I was like, what car are you looking at? They're like, I really like the Telluride. I was like, yep.
Everybody does.
It's awesome, and I've ridden in them. I haven't driven one, but I will say I have the Hyundai Santa Cruz, the Night Edition, and it's the all-wheel drive. And I've rented several.
Whoa.
Their all-wheel drive system is really nice. Did his car just hop?
It did. Let me see if it'll show that on the replay.
Might have been just a little net code. It's like a little.
Yeah, I think
when
that
he hit
was
the
some net
brakes.
code.
Yeah.
Randomly thinking, do a kickflip.
This isn't Willow Springs.
Oh, that's more than a kickflip. That's
That's a 900. That's Tony Hawk at the X Games, bro.
Well, I
That's a big
suppose
drop
if
in.
you're doing it on purpose, Leo style, then yes. But we had Fast Cougar do the kickflip going around that tight little hill section.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And Stiggy, to answer your question, the reason I was going for a two-wheel drive was solely for the fuel economy. It was supposed to get like 2 miles per gallon better. But it worked out. I mean, being in Minnesota, four-wheel drive is not a bad idea. So in hindsight, it kind of worked out. Like a four-wheel drive was probably the better idea anyway, and I got it a little cheaper because of their mistake. So
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Also, on the maintenance side, typically, unless you need all-wheel drive, two-wheel drive's the way to go. Just on tire wear, suspension wear, if anything goes wrong. But I mean, we're not sponsored by Hyundai Kia, but let's talk about how great their warranty is. Am I right? Am I right? Best warranty in the game.
I haven't had to use it.
Exactly. But if you do, it's free.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
I have heard when I was reading through like the forums and stuff, there are some Kia models that they were complaining about engine failures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But with the warranty, it was always covered.
Yeah,
so.
you just replace. Like, yes, that does happen. But yeah, as long as it's under warranty, like they just replace it. And
Evolve coming to the line here. Ooh, improves by
nice.
3.6 tenths. 2 minute 0.627, has one more shot. Try to get under that 2 minute mark. The time to beat is a 1:59.921. So needs a 6.5 tenths improvement to make it into top split.
so close. So close. I will say one thing I don't like about the Genesis styling. Oh, and he's up 2 tenths.
2 tenths in the first sector. Oh, but goes way too deep.
I think I know exactly what this is. When you catch yourself looking at the time.
Yep,
and
right
you
before
forget
you
to
break.
That is, I noticed it right away. I was like, I do the same thing sometimes.
Yeah,
When
the
the
ones where they
delta's right
put the time
before-
check in
Oh,
that
I
spot
hate
is
that.
bad.
It's like that at Tsukuba going into the final right-hander. At Tsukuba's the same way. I've gone into gravel so many times. Oh, you hate to see it, but hey, still a solid time, Evolve.
Yeah, 2 minute 0.627 is nothing to shake a stick at. He is solidly in second split at this point. We have 17 minutes till 10 p.m. Central, so that gives us time for at least one more qualifier. So for those of you sitting on the fence, those of you wanting to get into the last qualifying session, it's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Papa talking all sorts of Colorado crap. Hey, here in Minnesota we get more snow. Which
Are
means
there
we know how to
mountains?
drive in it in two-wheel drive. We don't need four-wheel.
We don't need the four-wheel drive.
We know what we're doing because we got practice all the time.
All the time. Where's Papa sitting? Papa's sitting P33 with a 201.242.
Oh, so that's third
So
split.
Very nice. Anytime I go to Colorado, in the winter time, my goal is to try to get my rental car stuck. And so far, I've been pretty successful, which makes for an exciting afternoon.
I'm sure the rental companies love you.
Well, yeah. Well, I also, for my job, I buy from the rental company, so I keep that in mind. I'm like, there's more people like me, so I need to be careful what I buy and from where. I'm definitely not buying the higher mileage all-wheel drive car from Colorado, because that thing's been abused.
All right, so that gets involved in there. Looks like we do have another person joining. Cornbread. Oh, I should have known. We hadn't seen Cornbread yet. Cornbread's going to challenge for top split for sure. And Dirt McGirt, another CBR driver. Probably going to work together.
I was going to say, you typically never see just one.
C-Dubs in chat. No way he's alone. Called it. He totally called it. I want Dirt McGirt to get out of the pits. I want to see what this livery looks like, because this looks new. Papa, it feels good. Feels good.
Let's see if they're ready or not.
Like a pair of Levi's.
501. I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Ooh, a 711 Mazda 3. I follow this guy on YouTube. He's a young British man that lives in Korea, and he goes and picks up stuff from the Korean 7-Elevens and then eats it on a short, like the short form, and it's quite entertaining. It makes me wish I lived in a country that had good food at 7-Eleven. And not what our 7-Elevens have.
Well, isn't that like you go to Germany and get a beer at McDonald's?
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't know what they're serving you in a 7-Eleven. You don't know what animal that is, but it's on there.
I will say, I mean, I've had their hot wings a couple times, and it's not good. It's not bad, but it's not good.
Oh, WD-40. That's what he went for. This is definitely not a food.
No, well, you never know. Some people they put WD-40 on everything. It's like Frank's Red Hot,
or like Windex. Isn't that the other one?
Windex. You can use the if you ever get new wiper blades, spray a little Windex on a paper towel and wipe down the wiper blades with Windex before you install them, and it keeps them clean and last longer. Pro tip.
The more you know. Dun 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 dun
dun. The amount of stuff I've learned from being in the car biz is pretty amazing.
Well, I think this is the final one.
Yep, the final one with the teamwork action. It's so funny the way these lobbies work. I'm not showing either of their liveries on my screen. They both look like generic cars.
You might want to clear your cache.
I need to clear my cache on this account.
Well, that and then free up some space, most likely. You want it to be, probably want to keep it below 90% filled. Because once it gets a little bit higher, it'll start messing everything up, and then the liveries won't show up. Happens all the time.
Yup.
We can't be having that.
Nope. I will be sure to do that as soon as we're done here. And look at them going side by side on the outlap. CBR action. For those who don't know, CBR, Cornbread Racing. These guys have showed up in force, and now they're melting time and space together.
This is like a special kind of drafting.
They are one and the same.
You complete me.
There you go.
Oh, wait.
So Cornbread has the better straight line speed in the Mazda 3, but I imagine that Dirt McGirt's going to be better in the corners. But it looks like they're giving themselves a little bit of space now.
I mean, Cornbread's probably going to be able to hold his own on the straights and just pull Dirt McGirt along.
Oh yeah.
But Cornbread's
I've
been
got-
pretty fast. He's been consistently
Oh yeah.
top split. I think Dirt McGirt has typically been second split, just as far as time goes, if I recall.
Mm-hmm.
But working together will probably help them both.
Absolutely. And yes, Stiggy, I have Dave's Hot Chicken here, and their Reaper hot chicken is insane. I get extra hot.
So that Mazda 3, I mean, as much as it'll pull you out of a spin, you got to be careful. Getting on the throttle too early, it'll just understeer off into oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only thing you got to worry about with that front-wheel drive car, but it does pull like crazy.
Yeah, you can sometimes upshift to a higher gear and still get the power out with a little less understeer, but absolutely, as you see right there, a little too
Went
much
off.
curb.
Might be a pen. No, it's not a pen. Probably slowed him down a little, though. You got all four tires in the dirt there.
Well, that's beneficial for dirt. You'll still be able to stay in the slip.
Man, that WD-40 livery is clean. I like it.
I'm a fan.
And you
my
can use
colors.
WD-40 to clean the plastics under your hood, all the engine covers you have under there. If they're
I've
getting-
always just used WD-40 to get out stubborn bolts.
Yeah, it's amazing what you could use. You can use it for so much stuff, but stubborn bolts for sure.
Now, do you know what WD-40 stands for? Little trivia.
I do not.
WD stands for water displacement, and it's 40 because it was the 40th attempt at making the what do you call it? Recipe.
So that it's just the number 40 on the test chart.
Yep.
Got it right. Interesting.
Cornbread with a 2-minute .805. Dirt McGirt with a, what was that, a 201.339.
201.339, yes sir. Not a bad starting point.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Cornbread kind of pull away now that these sessions have become official, unless he dials it back in a little bit to reel in his teammate, get them closer, maybe work together a little more.
He could go and put down a better lap and then back off to let dirt, get a little bit of slip and help him out. Once Cornbread is pretty much maxed out what his potential lap can be, and is happy with it, then I'm certain he'll drop back.
Dirt McGirt running with the left blinker on.
Kind of makes me think of a police chase I've seen, and the car that was being chased was being so polite and nice about all the
Following the rules.
I've seen that one.
one.
It was a police chase, but was signaling every turn he was making. And, oh yeah, I've seen that
I
one.
was like, that's a nice guy. I mean, he's breaking the law, but he's nice about it.
Cornbread really trying to hold on to that. It's like he didn't get a pen. Barely held on to that. He was sliding to the outside.
He wasn't up, I don't believe, on his sector time either, so...
He was on the first sector. I wasn't paying attention for the second sector. Oh, he's coming in.
He dives into the pits. Dirt McGirt
There's a little
stays
bit of
out.
wear on those racing soft tires, but not a lot. Dirt McGirt's now going to get quite a ways ahead. They're
Right.
probably not going to be able to work together now unless Dirt McGirt dials it in.
And he did
Honestly,
not
if he
improve
makes a
on
big
that
enough
lap.
mistake on the lap, it would make sense just to, hey, wait up for your teammate. If he can just keep it clean and try to set a faster lap. He was only 2/10 off of his previous fastest lap, so he's been consistent thus far. See if maybe having Cornbread out of his windshield removes a distraction.
Perhaps.
That blinker's distracting me, though.
It's like I was looking at it. I was like, I bet that's bothering Sal quite a bit.
It's bugging me. See, if there was anybody, if it was somebody else that wasn't CBR in the lobby, I would accuse him of using psychological games to mess up the competition. But with it being his teammate in here, I don't think that's it.
Nope.
Oh, and he picks up a 1 second penalty. So exactly. So if he serves the penalty on this lap, which he should, then waiting up for Cornbread and having them work together for the final run might be the way to go.
Nope, he's gonna have to park it.
Yeah. Doesn't look like he's going to. Unless he's just going to get the penalty out of the way and then park it. Nope, he's just going to go for it.
Continue on.
As you were.
Do continue,
Move along.
sir.
Going to be the final lap. Starting. Meow.
Trying to improve on that 201.339. Again, for top split, we're looking at a 159.921 is the cutoff. So just inside that 2-minute mark.
Cornbread just going through the first chicane as well, so he's a good ways behind Dirt McGirt.
Dirt is down about a quarter second. Oh, and goes too hot.
Oof.
The same thing we
Good
saw
thing
from Evolved in the last one, just went too hot into that second chicane, picks up a 1.5 second penalty. Cornbread up 1.4 tenths. He's gonna need about 9 tenths. Qualify for top split. He's got some work to do.
Yeah, but this is where the Mazda is going to shine, because it's mostly straights from here on out, with slight kinks in them.
Got
Gets
a
good
long ways
exits
to
out
go
of-
and a short time to get there.
Yeah, indeed. Let's see what this sector time's going to be. The end of this long straight before Scary.
Ooh, up almost 4
Up a little.
tenths. He's going to have an epic final sector.
And the Parabolica is tough in the front wheel drive cars, because like you were saying earlier, Sal, the understeer, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Where's Cornbread going to be?
Yes, McNaughty, you are safe for top split, it's looking like. Unless we run one more qualifier.
Yeah, well, they would have to be in the lobby right now. Like, right now, and be ready.
And
Comes to the line.
Oh!
1 second! A 159.729 gets himself
That was
into top
gorgeous.
split on the final lap of what is probably the last qualifier of the round. Ooh, that
was
unfortunately
very
bumps his
impressive.
teammate Wade CBR down into second split.
Yeah. As I say, they traded out. It's like, okay, you're out, I'm in. All right.
That's going to put Cornbread provisionally in P10. McNaughty asking where he's at. He is P12. And Dirt McGirt in P35 with a 201.339. 51 qualifiers we've had for this round. And it looks like, so our top spot is a 158.848. And separating top spot from the bottom spot is 5 seconds. But
Wow.
separating the top spot from the bottom of second split is less than 2 seconds.
Very nice.
And in fact, top split is separated by 1.05 seconds. Oh, McNaughty's saying in chat when they got into each other that Root's wheel disconnected.
That would make sense why he went straight when he was supposed to take that first chicane.
Yeah.
It all makes sense now.
I thought he just figured that, not making the corner, might as well get out of the way, but not quite.
But it was fun to watch them work together. We saw several drivers working together. Good to see. We saw all the different makes out there. Looks pretty jumbled up overall.
Yep, so let's run down. TK, so you want to run down the top 14 for split 1 here?
Yes, for split 1 and P1, we have Bobagito with a 158.848. P2, we have Racer 51 with a 158.933. P3, we have GIKP Wilcox with a 158.975. P4, Papa Oso with a 159.365. Then in P5, we have JK85 CBR with a 159.399. Then in P6, we have PHG C-Dubs with a 159.486. P7, PHG Fast Cougar QC with a 159.571. P8, the cheater PHG Root, 159.584. In P9, Corn Identity with a 159.713. P10, Cornbread with a 159.729. P11, Velvet Thunder with a 159.739. P12, McNaughty with a 159.832. P13, PHG Vetterdan with a 159.860. And P14, we have PHG Pyro with a 159.905. Just outside of that is Wade CBR. So close with the 159.921. Incredibly close. We also have Genesis, Mazda, Honda, Lamborghini, McLaren, Dodge, Chevrolet, all in the top 14.
Man, yeah, I mean, a lot of variety. Definitely some close times. I mean, 51 total drivers. We still got, that's going to be 4 splits. So looking forward to race weekend. We got Friday night starting at 7 p.m. Central. I believe, TKs, you're going to be broadcasting on your channel both the Friday and Saturday races?
I believe so, unless we get any changes to the schedule. I think that's the plan. We'll get everything firmed up tomorrow. But I am definitely available to do so.
And then Saturday, starting at 1 p.m. Central, we will have splits 2 and 4. Go to, pinned in the chat, go to the Papa's House of Game website. The link that is pinned in the chat takes you to the Season 2 League page. That will give you all the information on the races we've done, the race we're doing, and the races to come. Along with links to all of the streams. So if you want to watch what's happened thus far, you can certainly get caught up if you're new to this. Also, if you want to race, qualifying is over for this round, but you could certainly, in round 7, if you, again, go to the website, you can register to race in round 7. We do have 9 total regular season rounds. So after round 6 here, there are 3 more rounds to go before we get to our 4 race finals to determine the overall manufacturer champion. Should be exciting.
Very exciting.
Once again, I'd like to thank our new sponsor for the PHG World Series, Lithograph Comics. Once again, Lithograph Comics is not a store, but rather a comic book enthusiast bringing awareness to the hobby and the comic book collecting community. Located on Instagram, you'll find Greg, aka Litho, sharing comic book history, stories, and his personal collection spanning a 35-plus year comic book journey. That's Lithograph Comics on Instagram. Thank you, Lithograph Comics, for sponsoring the PHG World Series. Everybody go to his Instagram page and show him some love.
Indeed.
And thank you, everybody, for showing some love to this channel, Salamander Racing. I've enjoyed having you all here today and look forward to seeing lots of you back in the future. I've now reached my 500 subscriber goal. I'm gonna relish in that for a bit. I will be planning a 500 subscriber celebration stream sometime in the future. It may be about a month from now. We'll see. I've got some planning to do. I've got some things in the works that I'll be announcing when that comes up. So stay tuned for that. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, tell your neighbors, even tell the strangers. I'll take them all. But anyway, qualifying. Now that we're all wrapped up, TK, Shaggy, impressions.
These drivers are fast.
Yeah, I'm happy to be sitting this one out. I get to watch all the chaos. I mean, I hope there's not chaos, but also I hope there's chaos, if that makes sense. It's going to be good racing either way. And the way I have this set up, it's going to put the closest drivers on pace in the same lobbies. So it's going to be competitive, through all 4 splits. It's going to be nice.
And I will say, this is now round 6. We have yet to have a boring race. Like the way it's set up, even the bottom split, it's still tight because everybody is in their competitive category. So it's a lot of fun having raced one of these races. I had a blast. So everybody involved, I know, is going to have a good time. And you've done a great job, Shaggy, setting this up. Also, Sal, again, congratulations on the 500, and thank you for all the hard work you do behind the scenes to get these productions going for us.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed doing it. Yeah, I mean, I'll echo everything you guys said. It was a nice, tight qualifying effort, and, again, Shaggy, kudos for putting this together, putting all the time in to run these qualifying sessions to keep each of the races ultra competitive. They have been so fun to watch. I mean, if you've missed some races in the past, again, go to the website. Give them a watch. They have been just banger after banger. Definitely go check it out. With that said, I think we're going to wrap it up for today. Once again, I'll be like a broken record. Go visit the website. Do you have the schedule for the race weekend? Again, Friday night starting at 7. Saturday afternoon starting at 1. Both of those are Central Time. We hope to see all of you there. We hope you bring your friends, bring your family. Until then, everybody have a good night. We will see you on race day. Peace out, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The engine's roaring life in the fast lane. PHG, we've been named, tearing up the game. Thunder on the track, speed never go lack. Pushing limits, breaking barriers, ain't looking back. adrenaline rush, it's a traveler's dream. Might stumble, fall, but we rise again. For the banner of PHG flies our friend. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people. Better people. Oh, baby. Better people. The engine's roaring life in the fast lane. PHG, we've been named, tearing up the game. Thunder on the track, speed never go lack. Pushing limits, breaking barriers, ain't looking back. Tires screaming as we take that turn. Fuel and fire in our hearts we burn. Opponents in the mirror, they can't keep up. Keep the throttle down, never wanna let up. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people. Team strong, bonds like no other. Brothers, sisters, ain't no undercover. Victory sweet, but honor even sweeter. Every race together makes the fight deeper. Crowds chant as the lights go green. Adrenaline rush, it's a traveler's dream. Might stumble, fall, but we rise again. For the banner of PHG flies our friend. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we rule the steeple. Great racers, better people. Good racers, better people. Good racers, better people. Great racers, better people. Crowds chant as the lights go green. Adrenaline rush, it's a traveler's dream. Might stumble, fall, but we rise again. For the banner of PHG flies our friend. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people. It's a traveler's dream. Might stumble, fall,